Okay, I'm recording now. We've started. So hello YouTube. This is gonna be a funny typing session thing going on here. I'm gonna type someone on Mrthick.
Gaming,
Yeah.
Mr.
What do you
Thick.
want to tell to the stream or to the YouTube video right now? Seraa.
Hi, stream.
Hi stream. Okay, sure. There's the thing I sent it in the chat, and now I'm gonna ask you questions. That's all you gotta do is just answer the questions. Number one.
Okay.
We're gonna go to model M first, morals. We're gonna talk about your morals. So,
Okay.
let's see the relevant questions. What do you think about abortion? Just dropping that one right there.
Oh my god. That's the first one.
It's unironically the first thing on the list. It's unfortunate, but it is. It is.
Oh my god.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Context or not context. Advice is you don't have to answer everything. You obviously you have the freedom to like choose which one you want to answer and to what level of depth you want to go for.
No, that's fine. It caught me
It's
off
just
guard
funny.
as
I know
all.
it is
I
funny. I'm
was
aware about it too. It's really
I
funny.
was expecting like the whole, train thing, you're okay. Anyway, so
Anyway,
um
yeah.
uh I think that it really depends on the situation, because obviously, oh my god, you're not going to be able to get this monetized.
Oh shit!
But
Don't
like
worry. I don't. I
it
don't
really,
monetize any of my shit. I don't plan to.
oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, like it would really depend on the situation. Because I don't think that like a child should be carrying out a child.
Yep.
And I also um, don't think that uh, people who are not, um, just like people in general that are not like mentally, physically, or financially able to like provide for like children should be having children. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Question. I'm gonna ask you some hypotheticals here. So, if a child had a child in her tummy, you think she should be allowed to abort it?
Yes, because she's a baby.
And if the child was 100% known, this is unrealistic, but if there was a way to verify she can handle, like physically handle the child for like a few months, even though it would be really like terrible as an experience, but for some reason in the hypothetical that it's safe, it's ultimately gonna be fine in the end. Would you force her to carry the baby at that point?
Absolutely not. No, because she's not emotionally
Okay,
ready
emotional
for a
stuff.
child, nor
Okay,
is she
even if
financially
even if she was
ready for a
physically
child.
able somehow, like an outlier case, like the emotional
Right.
aspect
Physical.
is still
Yeah,
there.
no, she's not emotionally stable. She's not financially stable to raise a child.
Yeah.
So, that's why when it comes to like teen moms
Okay.
and stuff, like, while I don't really like encourage that, it's kind of like if they're able to like physically, emotionally, and financially invest into their
Yeah.
children, like, you know what, who am I to
So my
who
next
am I to
question,
judge?
my
Like,
next
who am I?
question for you
Yeah.
is in her case,
Hmm.
you're allowing the abortion to happen. But the next question I have for you is, if someone argued, no, but you can just have the child go to like what do you call it, or put it up for adoption and stuff, or like have it go to the orphanage, or like send it to an orphanage or something. How would you feel about that argument?
If a child is pregnant with a baby,
Yes.
they should not be carrying it out at all. Like, that should not even, it
And
should
so
never even
people
get to
who
that
say that
point.
like they need to tolerate it because that's just life's a shit idea.
No, yeah, I don't agree with
You don't like
that.
those people as well, I'm guessing, if they say that shit.
I don't agree with that mindset,
But do you think
no.
people like that are shitty in terms of not being careful in their logic? Like they're just not logically sound and
I
irrational?
I don't think they are
Do you think they're crazy?
mindful, or I think that they are very close-minded
Okay.
and narrow-minded individuals. They don't think about the repercussions
I
that
think Ben
come with
Shapiro is one of those
um
people. I'm not actually sure. I
with
think Ben Shapiro
with
would say that.
childbirth.
I think Ben Shapiro would say that, like, or some other political figures or commentators would say the same thing. Like if they're very Republican and very like hardcore, right? Some of them say stuff
Hmm.
like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't agree with that, and I'm sure if you dated someone who had an opinion like that, you wouldn't want to date them anymore. I mean,
Yeah, I actually broke up with a guy
someone who
because
said
he
that shit.
was pro life. He was a pro lifer, and I even gave him that extreme example of like, okay, well, what if it's like a little girl and she gets R worded and stuff, and he goes, well, you know,
Life sucks. It is what it is. Life
like
sucks. You gotta deal
yeah,
with it.
like
Like
literally,
that
it is
stuff.
what it is. Like
You just gotta
yeah,
deal with
like
it.
I
Wow.
don't think that yeah, and so I was like immediately like, no, I'm gone. You just lost me. So
Was he at
so
least hot
yeah,
or something? No.
no,
why
no,
would you? Why were you dating him then? Were you
no.
just looking for experience or something?
uh,
You just didn't.
money.
Oh, the money. I respect. I respect that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Wait. So wait. This is not
yeah,
related to typing. So does that mean you also don't mind it when guys are like are looking just for sex in a relationship?
for just looks.
Yeah.
Um, yes and no, because like I don't do like short term or like hookups or anything like that. So if it's like, like a to be husband and they're dating me for my looks, well, I'm going to date you for your money then. It's only fair.
But like if
you
it's
know?
if the guy doesn't, okay, so would you want it to be clear between you and the partner that like that's what you guys are aiming for, or that would just be cringe if you guys are actually aware that you're just using each other? Like, would it be like a low key
What?
dynamic? Or what kind of dynamic do you want? Like you
Um,
want to okay, would you want a dynamic where you constantly reminding your partner like I'm just using you for money, and you're just using me for my looks. That's all we are. Like obviously, or would
not constantly. No.
but you want it to be
I,
known
I I'm not gonna
fundamentally.
like message him at like 4 in the morning and be
Does
like,
it need to be
"Hey."
clear? Does it need to be a clear thing, or do you prefer if the guy
It
doesn't
does
think
need to
about it
be
that much?
established.
Okay,
It does
established.
need to be established early on, but
Would
we
that
don't
even
need
be a
to
healthy one?
constantly
Would you consider that
remind
a
each
healthy
other.
dynamic though? Like, what if you start rotting in his eyes? Like, you look like a 84-year-old grandma now, like, and he doesn't want to have a thing with you anymore. Like, wouldn't you say that's the problem? It's not sustainable, at least on your part. Like, you could definitely like use him a lot for your money and just die with a lot of money. But in his case, what if he's no
Hmm.
longer interested in you because you're not attractive to him anymore when you're older or something?
Oh well, find another one.
So you're saying you're just gonna keep using this guy until he gets rid of you, and you're just gonna read him, make sure that.
He's using me.
So,
He's using me.
so,
Why can't
so
I
you're.
use
It's
him?
a healthy in your eyes, healthy dynamic where you're both aware of how much you're using each other, low key.
Yes.
You don't think of that as like unsustainable because you just know when to drop it when it's the right time to drop it. Like,
I mean, that really depends. I think that um, when you invest, especially your own money into a person, whether you like it or not, like that is your time, your energy, and your money going into that person.
mhm.
So over the years that you do that, over the years that you invest in a person, that's when you may start to actually feel like, I feel like genuine love, like pure love for this person because I've invested so much into them. They've invested so much into me, and that's where I find the balance. That's why in my eyes it's balanced.
Okay. So you don't actually care if wait, do you care if someone doesn't really love you, but generally autistically wants to give you money? It's kind of like a transaction or like a hyper autistic transaction where he's giving you the money, and he's very loyal about it, like and reliable. Like he's giving you the money, but you
Hmm.
need to. It's almost like a
Hmm.
sugar daddy relationship. How would you feel about getting into
Like
a sugar
uses
daddy
me as
relationship?
like a status. Well, like I mean that's fine. I mean that's kind of how it's gonna go anyways, right?
Oh shit.
Because if I'm being used as a status symbol, if I'm being used as like, oh look, like this gorgeous lady of mine, it's gonna be like, okay, well, I'm only gorgeous because you're giving me the money.
Oh
Like
shit.
I can't. My
Yeah.
thing is like that's just how it works for me.
Wow. You don't find that cringe in terms of like, a lot of girls would be like, no, I want someone to love me for everything I am. Like, oh, we're just gonna be stuck with each other.
No,
You don't
and
really do that.
because I kind of value that like traditional mindset, you know.
Holy shit.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah.
Wow, that's very insightful for your typing, by the way. I think, at least in my eyes. Um, so your opinion is the traditional kind of thing where you you will have something to offer on the table. You're gonna take advantage of it, and he has something to offer. He's gonna take advantage of it, and you guys are using each
Mm-hmm.
other. And there's nothing wrong with that for
Yes.
you. No,
Nope.
not even any sign of any feeling of like disgust with in terms of like, oh my, you know what I'm saying.
Are you like
A lot
so
of girls,
against this?
because a lot of girls, no, a lot of girls are like, ew, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying, right? But you don't relate to that at all.
So my thing is, it's already kind of hard to get to that point because I have these high standards, and on top of that, like that traditional mindset, I need a man who you know, maybe not is like uh too crazy about it, like too hardcore about it, but oh, we're on the same understanding of like, okay, if you are using me as like a status symbol, then I'm going to use you for your money. Like that's just how
That's
that's
so
gonna
based of
work.
you. That's really good.
Um,
I personally like that. Like when I say like, I don't know what I mean. Like I vibe with it, I guess, because
because like that's you gotta understand, like that's what us women have. Like we have our youth, we have our beauty,
mhm,
you know, and it doesn't last forever. I'm not trying to say like, oh my god, I'm gonna be like 90 and with the love of my life, right? But like um at the end of the day, it's kind of like I would rather live a stress free life and not have to worry about, oh my God, I only have $20 left in my bank account. How are we going to
I
go on to,
suppose,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
I have a question or something to mention.
Yeah.
I suppose part of
Hmm.
the reason you have this opinion or approach is you're confident in your people reading skills. I'm assuming you know when the guy gets too abusive or toxic. You would notice the signs about it. Like other people
Yes.
would not be like that. The girls, a lot of people would be like, "No, I'm with my partner, and I don't care enough to psychoanalyze him 24/7. Be guarded in a healthy way. They're just gonna enjoy this person's presence, and then that's it. It's not deeper than that for them because they don't really see people as people to psychoanalyze 24/7. They don't have that like eat or be eaten mindset where like they have to be careful in their relationship as long as once they reach that threshold of like intimacy with that person, they're just not gonna think too much about like the person betraying them because it just feels good and it's a intuition thing. Like it just feels nice. This
Hmm.
person totally won't murder me in my sleep because we're hanging out. We're just having so much fun with each other. You would have this thing where you're also like that, but you also would be mindful of the risks, especially in those kinds of relationships. Anyway, um,
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm assuming you have female friends, right? So are your female friends the kind that relate to you with that, or are they different? Are they more like the feeler kinds with relationships?
So I realized, actually just recently, I had lost one of my, pretty, I would say she was a pretty close friend. And the reason why is because we differed in a lot of things, and she was also very uh, um, she becomes emotionally triggered about a lot of things that aren't even controversial.
Your friend,
So, anyways, yeah, well, ex friend,
ex friend.
but the thing that I realized when I, and I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but when I compared our relationship between me and her and the relationship between me and my other girlfriends, is that um she right now she is in a relationship with a man that is pulling her down. She and in the way that he's not uplifting her in any way.
This is the ex
He
friend,
is
right?
not
The ex
encouraging.
friend is not
Yes, he,
treated nicely. Okay.
the boyfriend of the ex friend. Yeah. So he is encouraging her to settle, and I don't like that. I'm not a person who settles. I'm a person who always wants. I always know there's something better, and I always want that better option, that better lifestyle. You know, that better mindset. So I don't really, I kind of understand why her and I kind of fell through. And I honestly, I mean, I don't feel anything towards it besides the fact that I just hope she realizes
That
that
she's
she can do better.
damn.
Um,
She's inting her life,
but yeah,
basically.
I
She
mean,
was inting her life, and
yeah, I
you're
mean,
telling
yeah,
her
because
anything, but she didn't believe you.
she's being coddled by this man, and this man is not coddling her in appropriate times, and is seriously bringing her down. I mean, and I'm not just talking about like mentally. I'm talking about like she's a student as well. Her grades are falling drastically. You know, like she is falling in a very self-destructive mindset,
Oh,
and I'm not gonna lie, I know that she's better than that, but she keeps surrounding herself around this individual who constantly
pulls her down,
encourages that sort
drags
of
her down.
behavior. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and like just babies her, and it's like that's not how life
Not good
works.
for her
That's
self
once
development.
she, yeah, once she gets a taste of like the real life and a real life as an adult, I mean, she's not going to survive it because she's not ready. Um, she's not ready to do that, to live on her own or to think for herself, and that's just kind of the struggles that we had throughout our friendship. So, anyways, I forgot the initial question,
Yeah. We
but
were going on a really. I like it personally. I don't mind these tangents, uh, at all. So we were just talking about this because, uh, like you were talking about
but
your
yes,
friends,
for like
your
my other
friends, your
friends,
friends.
generally, yes, the female friends that
They're more not
I
traditional
have,
about it. Oh no, they are traditional. Oh no, they're not. But
that they're more traditional.
they
They're
are.
more traditional. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're on the same page. We want the same things. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. That's We can move on to the next thing. Let me say. We were just talking about abortion in a minute of talking about this. uh, okay. The next thing is, I'm thinking if there's a follow up. I want to ask you about abortion. I don't think so. It seems like it's fully fleshed out. I'll just come back to it if I remembered or I missed out on something. Okay, religion. What about religion? Stances of
Okay.
religion.
Um, I really don't know how to feel about it. I'm very indifferent about it, to be
Indifferent.
honest with you.
Okay.
I'm very indifferent about it.
In
Like,
what sense do you mean
it's
that you
kind of
don't
like
care? You don't care about it? Like, or do you want?
it's like
Yeah. Do you plan to get into it
I
in
just
the
like I
future?
haven't had like any personal experiences
I relate to
with
that. I
like,
relate with
you
you on
know,
that.
like God, you
Yeah.
know.
Same.
At least that I know of. So,
Because I.
you know,
Well,
I'm
how are
not.
you raised? How are you raised by your parents and stuff?
So I was forced to go to so my father is hardcore Christian,
I relate to that.
and my mother, she's she claims that she's Catholic, but she's, yeah, she's not, you know, she's not like a hardcore Catholic
Uh huh.
person, and my father is hardcore Christian. So yeah, I mean that's where I was raised. I was forced to go to church every Sunday, up until like my like mid teenage years, and then that's when I kind of just like broke it off. I just can't do this anymore. I kind of just like not want to do it anymore. So yeah, I mean it's kind of um like I have respect for like people believing in different things,
Mm-hmm.
but
Even
for
like,
me, I'm just very like indifferent.
okay, but do you, if evidence showed in the future, you would obviously like believe it if it's convincing enough to you in your personal standards. Like if Jesus showed
Um,
up in your backyard naked and then like, yo, I'm real. What's up? Yeah, would you like? Okay, then I'm gonna start praying now.
um,
Then and do.
I don't know. I mean, it just feels so restrictive too. You know,
I know
like
what
I
you
just,
mean. It seems against your
yeah.
nature as a person who values your freedom and stuff. So you would
Hmm.
probably prefer it if this person, if Jesus wasn't real, but if he was real, there's a term for it. I
Well,
forgot.
I want a God that's accepting
Yeah.
of all, not accepting of like, uh, I don't really. know if I would be faithful to a God that's uh, that hates sin, you know, because my thing is like everybody sins. I mean, we all sin. That's, I mean, it's just so, it's so like, I don't know, it's so questionable for me because it's like why, and like to live your life. I mean, we only live once, and to live your life according to a book, according to so many rules, so many restrictions. I'm just not used to that. I'm not used to that in terms of like that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do with my life. That's not how I want to live it.
I'm guessing
So
because
if other people do,
yeah.
yeah, if other people do, I mean, like, hey, more to you. But like, that's just not how I want to live my life. So
So I said something in the chat, in the VC chat. It's a term that I encountered recently, actually, with some people in the server called. I'm not trying to pronounce it. I'm gonna go with apatheism or something, which is or patheism, which is the in this is possibly what you are experiencing or what you are believe or what aligned to right now. You just don't care about the existence of God, and if it turned out he's real, but like unjust, then you would just be like, fuck this god then. If he's a shitty god, I wouldn't want to respect him at all, kind of thing. Is this
yeah,
yeah, this seems like a
sounds about right.
sounds about if accurate for describing your attitude towards God and religion. Well, okay,
Yeah,
I just wanted to share to you. It's just not for your typing, but it's just fun stuff to do. I am similar to you in that
yeah.
regard. Although not super similar, like maybe like 90% similar. And the 10% similar, the
Mhm.
similar part is I would respect the god even if he was unjust, because for survival reasons, like we have this instinct to like for like self-preservation. So assuming that I also have the instinct to respect this god, and I think I do, to even though he was an unfair god, I would still respect him because I value my self-preservation and stuff. I probably wouldn't want to
Mhm.
respect him though, but I have to for quote unquote respect him for to satisfy him. So that's kind of my attitude. That's pretty much the only part where we're different. But in terms of wanting God to not be real, I have a weird thing in it where I do want God to be real, but I want him to be like the healthy, the ideal God that's really fair and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? The kind of God that you
Mhm.
want to exist because they're really nice, they're very just and fair. But I also like the idea of not there being no God as well because sounds nice to have a lot of freedom to do shit and
I think that would be
be a
so
self.
funny if we just find out at the end of our life, like, ah, you're a fucking loser. Like you just spent your entire life praising to a god that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like you just wasted like your entire life, like dedicating your life to something or somebody that doesn't exist. Like
Yeah.
that would be so funny to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a
Or
YouTuber.
I feel like a lot of like especially like Christians, like they only really have that belief in God because they're scared of they'd rather play it safe than sorry.
Yeah,
You know
even
what I
though
mean?
there's so
Like
many
they'd rather be
even though
like,
there are so many problems with that kind of attitude, like the Pascal
yeah,
nature, for example, where you don't know which god to subscribe to though, like, so it still doesn't work.
yeah.
Anyway, you were saying.
No, but yeah, that was literally it. It's that a lot of them, like I kind of feel that way because that's what I was sort of like brainwashed into thinking when I was forced to go to church was like, oh, you know, if you don't praise the Lord on Sunday, like you're you're gonna be sorry for it later. And it kind of instills that fear in people to the point where they feel like they don't have a choice.
Hmm.
And I always want people to understand that there are choices there while there are choices there are also consequences for those choices. um but at the end of the day, I'm not going to live my life according to something that I just don't believe in 100%. So
Yep. So this is really cool. It reminds me of this YouTuber. I posted his link to his channel, which is his name is Dark Matter, and what Dark Matter does is he makes cartoon comedy roasting religion. So he makes a lot of funny videos about, in my opinion, funny anyway. Not everyone likes his videos because they're very passive aggressive. he makes videos mocking
Mhm.
religious people, especially like Christianity, about the absurd nature of being a religious person. So he entertains people by making entertaining clips, videos of the illogical, focusing on the irrational aspects of religion, like what it means, what the
Mhm.
consequences are if you're actually a religious person. He made a video
Right.
recently or months ago called "God on Abortion" or something about like the funny consequences of agreeing with the Bible's stances on abortion. Like in the video, it showed like a bunch of, what was it, like embryos in heaven or something, because like what the fuck happens to embryos when they get aborted, and he just kind of takes everything to its logical extreme because it's funny. Like
Mhm.
what about the aborted babies, or like specifically fetuses? And in the video, it's he focused on literal like embryos. So does an embryo turn into like does it go to heaven or something? And it showed like a wasteland of embryos in heaven or something. It's just ridiculous, like a bunch of aborted babies or something, or aborted embryos. But
Oh my god.
it's really funny. I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea. If you're that kind, I stereotypically, as you know, MBTI, ENTP, whatever. Like that kind of humor is my thing. Like the kind of dark,
Mhm.
edgy. Depends on what you really how you want to describe it. But you get my point. Uh, so we're done with that. The next question I have is very important. Where do you get your morals? Where do you think you get your morals?
Oh god, that's
Why
hard.
haven't you murdered your neighbor? Other than the fact you don't have a reason to murder him, like why would it be bad for you to murder your neighbor? Like, would you murder your neighbor for like $1, maybe $1 million,
No.
$1 trillion?
um,
No, $1 trillion, really?
well, besides the fact
Besides the
that
fact
it's
you might,
fucking illegal.
yeah, I mean, if you wouldn't get caught, because I have a hypothetical. I asked someone in the server for this question, which is a really good one, and people had a lot of interesting answers in general chat. It was a text conversation. I asked people in the server, if you had a baby and a baby were on an island together, and it was a baby that no one would miss, and you could murder the baby right there. You could take some coconut and smash it on its face or something, or just whatever method you can find. Probably the one that you would consider the most ethical, like I don't know, like the most painless way to die. Would you kill it if it meant $1 billion? And you're not gonna get arrested. No one in society would give a fuck or know anything about what you did. And it's a baby no one would
I
miss.
think
And you have a method to do it in the most painless way possible, in the most ethical way possible. What would stop you from killing that baby right there?
because like no.
It feels wrong.
um,
I would concede that
like
humans are. That's one basic part of your answer, probably, right? It
I
feels wrong.
just
But is there
I
more depth
I
to it?
try to see it. I try to see it like from like because that baby is the child of a mother,
Yeah,
right? Is the child
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, that's
like
what your
a
brain tells you. Yes, but in the hypothetical,
so like
it's not that. Right? No one would miss it. In the hypothetical, specifically stated that there was no mom that's gonna miss the baby.
still
No one gives a
no
shit about the baby.
no
Still
no.
no,
I
right?
would if anything I would take it in. I would
You would keep
try
it.
to feed it like yeah.
Holy.
I'm not gonna fucking no.
Well, in the
I'm not
server,
gonna
I'm
destroy
gonna
it.
repeat what someone said in the server to answer the question. I think it was Jay. I don't know if you've met Jay. He had a
Okay.
really cool answer. I loved it. Gave me goosebumps actually.
Hmm.
And I don't think you would like his answer, or you wouldn't relate to it. Not that you wouldn't like it, you just wouldn't relate to it. His answer was, let me find it. Yes, yeah. So I can help other poor people that will be missed, or I think babies or something. So people that will be missed will actually benefit from the money, because like this baby is someone no one would miss, but with that amount of money he could help people that would actually be missed if they were like dead or something. So help people who are struggling, because of that amount of money. That absurd amount of money would just let you influence so many lives in positive ways. It just wouldn't make sense in Jay's eyes to not murder the baby, in considering all the restrictions in the hypothetical and the guarantees. So what do you feel about that answer?
I understand that, but I personally wouldn't do it. If he wants to fucking do it,
Would
you know,
would
I'm not gonna
you're not
look.
gonna? Okay,
I'm
you're just
gonna
not
be
gonna
like,
look.
going the other way.
Maybe is it something about
But
the act being disturbing, like the idea of some creature in front of you suffering because of you, that you're inflicting suffering.
yes,
That's probably it. I'm wondering
yes.
if it's deeper because it's ambiguous. You think it's deeper than that or no? It's just like the idea of inflicting harm to a being in front
Yeah,
of you.
I'm not gonna do that.
What if you could hire
No.
someone to do it for you for like $1?
No, because that's leading back to me.
Okay, but what
I'm the one
I remember,
who
I know your and I get your point. I
initiated
get your
that.
point. This is why this question has a version that I have in my notes, and I'm about to ask you the version. If you could use a robot that's gonna kill the baby in the most painless, fast way possible, and the robot just disintegrates, like the robot will not be traced back to you. It's just gonna stop existing after like the act. So maybe the
It would
robot
eat me
explodes.
alive.
The robot explodes.
That guilt would eat me alive. No,
Oh, the guilt,
no.
the guilt. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, the guilt would eat me alive. I could not do that. I would not be able to live after doing that.
okay.
Even if nobody else knew, if I made that conscious decision for somebody to or something to go out and murder that thing, like no, no, because then it would like it would. I think I would actually kill
Okay,
myself.
so there is a
No.
version that of the hypothetical. Another one. If you could remove the guilt, make yourself forget about it after doing it, would you? If there was a way to make yourself forget after it, and then just move on with your life, I'm assuming you would kill the baby
If
if you could
I
forget it. If you could find a guaranteed way to forget the whole thing, or is that
I
hard?
don't
It
know.
feels hard, right? I feel like you would based on your silence, but you might be
I probably would
okay.
because I wouldn't
You would
be
forget everything.
conscious of it anymore. Like that guilt wouldn't be
You
there
would have a
anymore.
few seconds of
But
guilt though, like during the
yeah,
time,
no, absolutely.
but
Yeah,
like
no,
after it, you can forget.
absolutely.
You don't mind, or you're not
If
sure.
I could find a reason, my thing is I don't know if I'd even like get to the point of being able to get it to get removed, like that guilt to get removed.
Yeah,
Um, because then that means that I know what I did was wrong.
yeah, you're
And
doing
now I'm
something you
trying
know
to
what you did was wrong,
erase
but you're gonna forget what you
and
did.
then
Yeah,
yeah, but getting it erased means that I'm trying to erase what I did wrong. And I don't like that. I should be able if I did something as as terrible as that, right? Like I need to suffer the consequences and the
really.
consequences
What are the
is going to
consequences?
be guilt.
Guilt.
It's going to be
You think
guilt.
guilt is
And
it should be?
obviously
Wait, you have an interesting system. You think guilt is required? Like you're supposed to suffer the guilt. You don't think it's fine if people don't
yes.
experience the guilt? Like that's weird to you if you don't agree with guilt not being there. Like what do you mean you
Yes.
deserve to feel guilty? I don't know what that means. Like
Because I just if I hired somebody to kill it or I killed it, whatever. If the baby ends up dead and it leads back to my name and I'm the one that made that conscious decision to
yeah.
have that baby destroyed, then at the end of the day, I deserve to suffer that from that guilt because that is my consequence. Every action has a consequence, and for killing that, whatever, like baby, whatever, then that means that my consequence for doing that is feeling guilty.
When you say guilty, do you mean like people catching you or just more like feeling shit about yourself? Because
No, yeah, just feeling bad that I did that, knowing that that was wrong, knowing that I'm the one
okay,
who just took the life of an
would you
innocent,
I'm assuming
you know,
I'm assuming you wouldn't feel this guilt if the baby was like stuck on a pike, or like, or the baby was like, I don't know, some wild animal ate the parts of the body, so the body of the baby, and now you can kill it to end its suffering. I'm assuming that wouldn't be as bad for you to kill the baby there. If it was already like dying slowly with a lot of pain, you would probably want to kill the baby, or not want. I don't know the term. Like you,
what
I
is
don't know
it?
the word.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you would be
I
inclined
get,
to kill it
yeah,
out of as a Mrthy thing.
yeah,
You wish it wasn't in
yes,
that
yeah.
situation, but you wouldn't prefer like leaving it there. You would actually kill it because it's
If
suffering.
I
It's guaranteed
if
to
I had
die.
it confirmed, Yeah, if I had known that it's like guaranteed to die,
Yes,
then
if you
I'm
had that
gonna
information.
do some anything that I can in my position to make sure that it goes away in a painless way.
Painless and fast, yeah. There's that
Yes.
mercy. This is the thing. This is the more what they call, and I'm sure you might have thought about this before already. Like it's a moral intuition, which means because the thing is, the reason I'm calling it a moral intuition is you don't actually have a reason why you feel that way. Like why do you care about the baby? It's just our biology kind of thing where we are merciful when it comes to beings. We want two things. We want every being to maximize their, I don't know, pleasure and then just not suffer as much as possible. And if they, at the same time, if they were dying and there was no way to stop their death, it would be preferable to end their suffering as soon as possible. So that's kind of two things that we follow as human beings, no matter which context we are in. It's a moral intuition that we have. We just know that that's the most. It just feels right. To
Because I would want the same done to me.
there's that
I would
part
want
of
the
it.
same thing
There's
done
that
to me.
part about the golden
Yes.
rule, but even then, there are people who don't even give a shit about the golden rule, but they could still feel that way about it. In your case, a lot of people
Yeah.
would relate to you about it though. Like they think about the golden rule as well, and there you go. That's
I
the
tried to see things as like, okay, well, if I was in their position, how would I want how would I want to be treated? How would I want to be approached? And if I'm already fucking dying and I'm like in so much pain, just get it fucking over with. Just do it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like so
totally.
that's what I try to see. I try to put myself in the other
Well, this is
person's
great. This is
shoes.
lovely, Sarah, because now I'm about to send you to another dimension of hell in terms of
Oh,
asking you
yay.
another difficult question. Let me find it. It
Awesome.
involves murdering even more people. Okay, let me.
Oh,
I
perfect.
love talking about murdering people, dude. Okay, let me find it.
Oh, I can tell.
Let me just find it. Um, there are two questions actually. I'm gonna ask you the simpler one. The harder one is harder to find. So the easier question is: you have a misanthropic partner, a partner who hates humanity or whatever. Actually, would you ever date a partner who hates people, but still loves
What
you?
the fuck?
But still loves you? Like they
Oh.
would you date someone
Okay, wait,
who
can you like explain because I don't really know what that is.
yeah,
Like
sure.
what that word
So
means.
basically, a misanthropic partner is someone who could, in this hypothetical, I'm gonna talk about someone who loves you. Still, they love you, everything about you, perfect, but they like humanity and they dislike humanity and they don't care about, like they if Elon Musk, all the shit humans strive for, like human progress and shit, they want to go against that or they're indifferent, like they just don't like humanity. So if you had a
Hmm.
partner who was like that, would that be a turn off for you? If they're still family oriented, for example, and they still give a crap about you and they love you, and they would do everything to die and they would die for you and shit. It's the ideal partner for a lot of people. They just
But
don't
they
give a shit
just
about the
don't.
outer they feel too distant with other people. They just feel closer to people like you, and his family, his friends, his partner, but he hates humanity, and
Um,
so he wouldn't give a shit about. He would actually like sink, let's say Africa. He would sink Africa to save you or something. Like if Africa was about to sink, I don't know. I'm thinking
so
of a
base
hypothetical.
okay.
They just don't care about
Mm-hmm.
like people that are too distant from him geographically and even culturally. People that he doesn't give a shit about. You know how we?
I think I would. I think I would still date somebody like that.
Okay.
Um, but they also would need to respect the fact that I do care about
Yes.
strangers, you know, like just random people, people that I'm not very close with, or maybe even people that have done me wrong. Like I'm still going to care about them,
Okay.
um, if they deserve it, in my opinion.
Okay,
Um,
you think humanity by
but
default deserves it if it didn't do shit to you? Humanity just exists as it stands today. Humanity exists. Do you care about humanity enough already by default? Do you need people to do you need to test people first? Like, okay, I think Filipinos deserve my mercy, so I'm gonna spare Filipinos. Oh, I think Chinese people suck, so I'm not gonna care about them. or are you just like everyone is cool? It's not like, oh, humanity is equally amazing, with a few exceptions, bad apples existing right there. But in general, I love
That.
humanity, and I would do shit to favor humanity goals and shit. Is that what you're how you see it?
That's um. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I. This is the same as my other answer, but I'm just like really indifferent about it. It's kind of like humanity exists, and that's it. I mean, I don't feel any hate towards any specific groups or any specific like countries or anything. Like or like no like groups or I don't know. That's but I'm not like a die-hard fan of like humanity. Like it's kind
Okay,
of just
that's very
like
interesting.
what happens
It's very
happens.
insightful because stereotypically, my stereotype with my friends about ENTJs is they give a shit more about their goals in their life and what they want to strive for. And so, if you ask them a hypothetical like this, they would be more inclined to stereotypically say, "Yeah, fuck humanity. I don't give a shit. I want my goals to be get done." And if it involved being indifferent to humanity in an extreme, possibly extreme way, then they just wouldn't give a shit. They're more like, okay, my values lie on my career or like my personal development with my friends, with my family, which is something an ENTJ definitely would care about more likely because they really want the
Mm-hmm.
TE, the using TE, extroverted intuition, oh no, not intuition, the thinking to actually get shit done. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so stereotypically, an ENTJ would just be like, yeah, I mean, humanity can go fuck itself if they interfere with my goals, then I would likely favor my own goals first before the other people's goals. And you don't seem to be on
Mm.
that category. You're more like
I,
unsure
I
how to feel about it. Like you're like,
well, it's kind of like why not try to find so like what you said, like fuck everybody else's goals, like I want to focus on mine. Why not try to find a solution to do both?
a compromise. I mean, an
You know
ENTJ
what I
wouldn't
mean?
mind that either.
Yeah.
They wouldn't mind if it's just in a hypothetical where it's extremely divisive, where it's hard to find a compromise. They would likely favor their own goals first.
Mm.
They probably wouldn't mind. They would relate to you about it. An ENTJ stereotypical ENTJ. They would probably first go with like the easier options, the ones that are more intuitive, like actually finding a compromise before actually committing to a more
Mm.
extreme solution. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
but I guess you would then if you found yourself in a situation where the extremes are the only option and the compromise just doesn't exist, despite all your deliberations and with yourself brainstorming on solutions. If you couldn't find a sweet spot, a compromise, then you would just go with the extreme one, which is favor your own goals first. Is that
Yes.
okay? That's still
Correct.
possibly it could still mean you're ENTJ then because ENTJs pretty much would do the same thing that you would do, stereotypically speaking. Another insight for you is a feeler would likely just be like, at least an INFJ or an ENFJ, they're more likely to say shit like, "No, I love humans. Random stranger, I love them." Like, because I've actually talked to this girl, an INFJ in the server, and I still talk to her sometimes. We VC'd, and she told me that she's like a vegan because she values she's a vegan not just for like health reasons, but really for I think she's vegetarian. I forgot because she cares about making sure she gives a shit about the suffering of animals and a vegan lifestyle is her way. To her, like this is the only way she can live life in an ethical way because she can afford to live a vegan lifestyle. She says she thinks she's harming animals if she ends up eating a lot of factory produced meat or whatever. And actually, that would be my next related question. Um, what do you think about veganism? And do you think it's retarded when people say that veganism they should be like, no, don't eat that freaking steak in front of you. That's bad because the animal, you're contributing to a factory, like a culture of hurting animals for no reason, and that's not good for humanity and shit. Do you have strong stances about
Mm.
vegans, or you don't have you haven't delved too much into it intellectually?
I I've actually dated somebody who
Is a
was
vegan?
vegetarian.
Vegetarian?
He's vegetarian,
What
yeah.
was his reason for being
And
vegetarian?
it was funny as fuck because on our first date,
What, were you eating steak in front of
I
it?
had a I had a taco in front
What
of
the?
him. Oh my god! god, but
Holy
like he
shit.
was so chill about it, so I was like, it's fine. But he's so serious about it too. He
What do you
works
know
at like a
why? Is
vegan
it the ethical
cafe.
shit or is it the health shit? Why does he care about being a vegetarian?
It's the ethical.
Oh
He's
wow.
fine. I
Did you
mean, he
find that
can
cringe in
survive.
some way or not necessarily that he was like that?
I was like, I just felt
How restricting?
uncomfortable.
How restricting was it? Just
I
eating
just
meat
felt
in
like
front of
really
him.
uncomfortable because I was like,
So awkward.
I just want to fucking eat.
Did you think?
He's just like
Do you think he was
there.
visibly also like cringing himself? Like, what the fuck am I doing in this dating this
Probably,
girl?
yeah, probably, probably. I don't blame him. Um,
Insufficient
but
balance,
yeah,
please top up.
um, I see it the
Insufficient
same way as I
balance,
see
please
religion.
top up.
Don't
Okay,
push your beliefs on other
Insufficient
people.
balance,
makes
please
sense.
top up.
Like, there's no need for that in a religious sense and a fucking vegetarian vegan sense. Just don't. I
Makes
mean,
sense.
everybody is able to live the life that they want, okay? And if they want to eat 5 pounds of chicken every day, let them eat five
What about
pounds of chicken
humans?
every
About eating
day.
humans? And I'm just kidding. Wait, I'll be right back.
What? What?
I'm gonna be right back. I need to do something for
Okay.
like just a few minutes. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No problem.
yeah. I'll ask you the hard question later when I'm back. Or the
Okay.
next one. Okay.
Oh my god, he's so funny. Hmm. Symphony, what you doing? Just wow. What? I don't know. Wait until. Hmm. Hmm. They have a Lego chair, but they don't have a rocket chair. Ooh, I don't just. That's crazy. Hmm. Strike everyone.
Tatlo na operator ko. Kinuha niya operator ko. Supposed to be mine.
Yeah.
Your package will finish in 5 minutes.
Oops.
Your package will finish in 5 minutes. Your package will finish in 5 minutes.
This one's gonna be. Hi, welcome.
Fuck. Mas paano ka nakakampi natin? Mas paano ko nung territory?
Okay, fuck. Hold on. Let me just.
Nothing's really happening right now, by the way.
No, I'm gonna have to tell that person to come back. I just arrived right before she left. What's her name again? I forgot her name already. Iman.
I
Okay,
don't
there you go.
remember.
I'm back. You should come back. Typing someone right now. Okay, so I'm back. We were talking about trying to remember. Oh yeah, so morals. So I'm gonna have to ask you the hard question now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember people struggling with so much with discussion, like feelers specifically in the server. Let me see. The next question is, I don't know if you have any niece right now. You have a niece or a nephew, a relative, or I guess a niece, like a young niece. I don't know how old, like 5 years old, something. You guys are chilling in a party with friends, all your friends having a fun time. There's a murderer that comes into the party and tries to kill all of you. So you all hide into some wardrobe or like some secluded like room. I don't freaking know. You just hide from the guy. The guy, and there's no one in the party who actually knows how to shoot a gun. So you guys are fucked essentially, except one guy. There's a cop. There's a cop in the room who can shoot. I don't know who can shoot the guy. But he's a. It's really complicated hypothetical. I'll try to make it simple. The guy. What was I gonna go say? Oh yeah. So you're for some reason. This is all the information you know in the hypothetical. The murderer can kill all of you if once he finds out where you are. But you can prevent the guy from knowing where you are by just being silent, obviously. Just if you were silent about it, there's a high chance he wouldn't find where you are. However, your nephew could or your niece could ruin it for everyone by crying, because your nephew's a crybaby. So, like nephew would like, and then you just be like getting, and because of that, it would get the attention of the murderer. So one of the guys, the cop, proposes murdering your nephew in front of everyone, and his logic is with a gun is okay. In the hypothetical, for some reason, your nephew is like Spider-Man or something, where like your nephew cannot be restrained unless you shoot the nephew. So it's a really strange, weird, unrealistic hypothetical where your nephew cannot be stopped in conventional, like just restrain the shit out of your. Obviously, you can just restrain the little shit by putting like, I don't know, just telling. I remember someone saying like, there's this girl I asked, or just like if it was a child, you could just like it was like a baby, an actual baby, not even a toddler. You could just like make it suck someone's nipple. Like there was a girl I asked. She said she would just make it like shut up by putting her nipples on its mouth or something. Just make it shut up. But this one is a nephew or a niece, so it's not even applicable. So it's just some baby that like really naughty kid who you can't even like stop it by simply restraining the kid. You would actually need to kill it. So would you kill your nephew, niece, just so you guys are safe from the guy? There are no loopholes. Shit like, oh, I can just fight the guy myself, like the murderer, or I would tell the cop to like, give me the fucking gun, I'll fight him myself. That doesn't work because in the hypothetical we're just not allowing that, or like maybe no one's actually competent enough to fight the guy except the cop. But in the hypothetical, I'm gonna make the cop like crippled or some shit, or just for some reason he can't really. That's why you can try to think of a loophole, but those are just meme answers. Obviously, the point of the hypothetical is: would you shoot your own, your niece so that you guys are all safe? And in a very abstract, general way, the hypothetical essentially is: you kill your nephew, or everyone dies. If you don't do anything, everyone dies. If you kill your nephew, only your nephew dies. Or niece, if you want it to be your niece instead of your nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Would you sacrifice, child sacrifice your niece so that all of you are safe? Or, yeah, that's essentially the idea. You can have the cop do it for you. He's competent enough to shoot at the kid in the most, I don't know, the most safe way possible for everyone.
And like the kid just like won't shut up. Like
Yeah,
he
there's
just,
nothing you can do to stop the kid
he's a loud
except
mouth.
shooting it. Yes. It's impossible to stop it unless you shoot it. It's that kind of kid, like a spawn of Satan kind of kid. I don't know.
Spawn of Satan.
Yes.
I think in that scenario, you would have to go. You would have to go, yeah, because he's jeopardizing everybody else for not shutting the fuck up.
You would
So
feel bad, right? Obviously, you would feel bad shooting your niece. Like,
yeah, I
Turn-
would feel
turn
bad.
your niece
but
into
it's
like
kind of
your own
like,
child or like your partner or something, someone you love a lot, and then obviously you would feel bad.
and they won't
But-
shut up.
And they still, yeah,
yeah.
obviously it'd be weird. Like, why would I be dating a guy who does that? Like, obviously you'd have weird questions like, what the fuck am I doing dating a guy who does that? But I guess a baby. That's why a baby would be better. Like, you had your own baby and your baby won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like
Yeah,
you can like
he would
choose
have
for
to
babies
go.
that don't cry. Babies naturally cry like that. So
Mhm.
there you go. The baby, if it's your own baby, you would feel bad, but like you would know what's best for everyone.
I would feel bad no matter what, but
Right.
yeah, like it's gonna need to happen.
I asked an INFJ this question. She was so like bothered by this question. You know what she said? She was like, she was giving a lot of loopholes as a joke, like, oh, but like I can tie up my baby with a rag to make it shut up, or I can breastfeed it or something. And I'm like, okay, those are funny hypothetical like loopholes. I agree. These are really creative, but you're missing the point of the hypothetical as a joke.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I know, I'm just memeing around, but you actually have to give an answer. And
Mhm.
I think ultimately she was like, her answer is so extreme. I don't know if you would find it extreme. I think you might actually find it normal. Depends on you. She said she would kill the baby, or she would let the cop kill the baby, but she would kill herself after because the guilt is too much. So she would sacrifice herself and her child so that everyone is safe. She wouldn't feel good letting the child live either. So she'd rather kill the baby or let the baby get killed by the cop and then kill herself after because of the guilt. She wouldn't just live normally
I
after that.
mean,
You probably wouldn't live normally
Yeah.
either, but I don't think you would actually kill yourself over it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't kill myself.
What she said is a
Because
very
then
INFJ
because
answer.
then the child just died for one less life to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not logical for that.
Would you
Because no,
if you had an option to sacrifice yourself so that it's you who's dying instead of the child, would you do that? Would you sacrifice yourself so that the child doesn't die?
I'm not the one who's not shutting up.
Yeah, but it's a child.
I'm not the one who's not shutting up.
Give the child like a privilege. Like it's younger than you. It's more innocent. It deserves more understanding. Like, you know how like in Titanic or like in ships when they're sinking, they say prioritize the women and the children first. So it's in this
Yeah.
way you could be considered lower priority because this is a child and you're still a woman, which is very like prioritized as well. But this is like on a spectrum.
Yeah,
the
but
child
I'm
is
not the
more
one
affected.
who's crying though. I'm not the one who's jeopardizing other people's
I'm
life.
talking about like an abstract version where if somehow you dying could actually like make the kid not die anymore. So essentially, if you could sacrifice yourself so the child, let's say I don't know,
But the only I need like an actual
you
example
need an
because
example.
right now we're
I
in
don't mind. I
the
don't.
only reason why the kid is dying is
Yeah,
because he's
I don't
too
mind. I don't mind.
fucking
I don't mind.
crazy.
So here's the version I have. Is I'm thinking. Let me think. Like there, I need to think of a situation where you dying would mean everyone is safe, and the baby doesn't need to die anymore. So maybe.
The
Okay.
baby.
This is a really funny
The baby.
hypothetical. Everyone in that party is disabled except you. Like everyone in the party cannot walk except you. It's like a crippled people party or something. So you're the only
Okay.
one who. So you have two options to survive. Either the one that I've been talking about right now, which is just be silent the whole time and make it's somehow it's guaranteed the guy will just not get to you. So that's one option. The other option is okay, but that option requires killing the baby. The other option is you jump the guy, you jump towards him, because you're the only one who can actually walk in this hypothetical, or like you're not on a wheelchair. Everyone else is on a wheelchair for some reason in the hypothetical, and
Okay.
so you actually would sacrifice yourself instead of killing the baby. You would just sacrifice yourself, jump to the guy with the high chance of you dying, but at least the guy you can actually stop the guy as well. Maybe like get a grenade and then jump to the guy or something, and you both of you die. That kind of thing. And
No.
So would you do that so that you don't need to kill the kid anymore, or you'd rather kill the kid and you guys chill there? There you go.
Mm,
I've made a version where it's either you or everyone or just the child.
I mean, that's still fucking stupid because there's still a high chance of me dying.
You're guaranteed to
And
die in the hypothetical, or like extremely high. Essentially, you're sacrificing yourself for everyone. You're also guaranteed to kill the guy. It's
no,
guaranteed.
because the kid's still gonna the kid's still gonna scream though.
No, yeah, but you actually get rid of the threat by killing the guy yourself with a grenade, killing you and the guy in the process. So even if
Oh, I see what you mean.
yeah, the kid crying doesn't matter at that point because you're literally killing the guy. You're the only person who can do it as well. You're the one who can walk and shit. Everyone is crippled for some reason in this crippled party.
Still wouldn't do it. I know I don't have the gut for that, so I
If
wouldn't
it was
do
your
it.
baby, I'm assuming you would do it. Oh, you just don't have the balls for it, is what you're saying.
Yep.
If you had a partner who didn't do it for you and your baby,
Also, I
would
just
you hate your
rather-
partner? If your partner didn't sacrifice himself?
Huh?
If you had a partner if you were also disabled, but you had a partner, your significant other was in that party, he was the only one who could walk, and he didn't sacrifice himself to save you and your baby and everyone else. Instead, he proposed killing the baby instead. Would you hate him for suggesting that, or would you understand? Yeah, you're just another human being who feels fear, or would you have a higher standard for a dude like him?
It really depends. Is he like capable of taking down the guy?
He's like 6'7", and then he's like jacked, and he has
Then he
like,
needs to fucking do
and
something.
he does like all martial arts. He's better than Bruce Lee. He shoots
And then he
guns,
needs to do something about
but
it.
he's like
yeah.
really scared for some reason in the hypothetical. Let's say he was like taking estrogen.
Everyone's fucking scared in that. Everyone's scared in that, but you need to do something about it. You
And
would
if he
need to do
doesn't,
something.
you would hate
about
him or something. If he says, you said like, I know, I would love to fight the guy, but I'm just not confident. What if the other guy was also like really strong? Like the murderer was like 6'8" instead of 6'7". And
Then I would tell him to shut the fuck up, and I would say, okay, then let's be quiet, like,
okay,
and not die.
would you have feelings of resentment for this guy for not fighting, like a duel kind of thing, where just duel it with each other instead of being a pussy and proposing?
I mean, one's unarmed and one is armed. I
Makes
kind
sense.
of understand why he's like
Okay.
hesitant to do shit.
If he had but in this one, what if he did have a gun, and it's just a 50-50 situation? Would you want him to risk his life for everyone, or would you propose the 100% guaranteed way, which is killing the baby? 50-50 versus 100%.
I'm gonna say this in this way, okay? I'm gonna answer it in this way. If my if my partner is not willing to give the fact that he's fucking armed and he's tall and
He's a
he's
pussy.
big and tough, if he's not willing to at least try and kill the fucking dude, I mean, then that's probably it for us. That's probably the end of us. Cause me, I know me. It's not only about like, oh, I don't have the guts to like like kill somebody, even if it's a murder. Like, I don't have the guts for that. I just don't. But like, he would need to do something about it. At the end of the day, he needs to do something about it. Especially if it's 50-50. Yeah, he needs to do something about it. And the thing is, like, think about the difference, though. I mean, even if I was the one with the gun, I'm fucking 5'1". I can't do shit, okay? The most I can do is probably hit the guy's knees, and that's about it. That's about
Kick
it.
him in the
So, and
balls,
I'm
maybe.
not like I don't have any experience behind a gun. I don't have any experience behind, like crazy weapons like that. So, I already know that my chance of survival is below negative like 1,000. Okay, but him, if he's tall and he's buff and he's like he has a
Trained,
gun and
trained and gun. Yeah.
he's trained, yeah, he's educated about using a weapon, then he needs to fucking use
And
it.
martial arts as well.
Everybody's scared shitless.
Mhm.
Everybody's scared shitless. I'm not trying to say he can't be scared,
Mhm.
right? But he needs to do something about it. So
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's very interesting answer, and I think we can move on. I think I have a pretty good idea of your morals right now. Where you get your morals, how it manifests, and how you answer hypotheticals, how you would deal with children being involved, your own family, your own offspring. Um, the next one is we have to go back to the question about the misanthropic thing. So you said you would not mind dating a guy who hates humanity if he loves you and everyone you care about. You wouldn't mind that. No, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for you if you had a misanthropic.
as long as as long as he respects the fact that I do,
Okay,
like
then there we
generally
go.
speaking, I
So
do.
this guy would not. Would you date this guy if he was the kind of person who, let's say he needs to choose between saving you, like the love of his life, versus Africa. So I have a video on YouTube. I'm not gonna make you watch it. I'm just gonna show you the funny thumbnail or the funny video. It's would you sink Africa so you can save your wife or something? Let me find it. Hold on. Let me go to my YouTube channel. Some funny shit. Give me like 5 seconds right now. Finding it. Found it. Not yet. Okay, so the hypothetical is I'm gonna send it in our text channel. Why is it not clicking? Fuck. Oh, here you go. It says, your wife dies or Africa sinks underwater. So he said he's the kind of guy that would let Africa sink just to save you. He wouldn't let you die. Like if he was in a situation where either you die or the Africa sinks, he would choose saving you. So when I say Africa sinking in the hypothetical, it's assumed that like the sinking of Africa will not destroy the world economies and you can still live a normal life after. The economies and stuff wouldn't be affected for some reason, even though that's unrealistic. So you don't have to worry about your life being affected by Africa's economy crumbling. So would you be okay dating a guy who would rather save you than Africa? Or would you only want guys who would actually let you die, sacrifice you so he can save Africa? If a guy was willing to sacrifice you to save Africa, would you be okay with that guy? And vice versa, would you be okay with a guy if he would be the kind to sacrifice Africa so he can save you?
I don't know about sacrifice me.
For
I don't know
Africa.
how to feel about that one. Yeah, I don't
Sounds
really know
wrong.
how to feel about that
Sounds
one.
really not wrong, but like uncomfortable to hang out with a guy like that.
Yeah, like if he's just like, oh, you can die. Oh, you can die. It's fine.
But do you also feel wrong?
Yeah.
Does it also feel wrong the other way around? Him sacrificing Africa to save you?
I mean, I won't encourage it, but if he wants to do that, then I mean, I'm not gonna stop him.
You don't mind dating a guy like that?
I'm not gonna stop him.
So if a guy was the kind you knew that guy was, you wouldn't mind dating guys like that, right? If you knew that he was the kind of person to do that, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for you.
It wouldn't be a deal breaker now.
Okay, so I can ask you the question now, which is, this guy hates humanity but loves you and everyone you care about, everyone around you, just your community and shit. He dies, right? He's the kind of guy that,
Goddamn.
unfortunately, in this hypothetical, he died. He's dead.
Yeesh.
Humanity is getting destroyed, and the only way for humanity, oh no, humanity's dying. All of humans are dying. The only way to save humans is for you to leak your dead partner's nudes or something. Let me just find the actual text so you can just answer it yourself. Something about leaking your misanthropic partner's nudes. Because someone in the server said they would not mind. They would rather all of humanity dies than his dead partner's nudes get leaked or something. Oh fuck, let me find it. Okay, I'm gonna go to text channel right now. I'm gonna send you the thing. Here's the question. Would you rather leak his nudes or just let everyone die? If he didn't like humans, so meaning he wouldn't like. I mean, he probably could still be okay with. I don't know. I guess yeah. If you had a partner and you had to leak their nudes so that you can save a lot of lives, would you leak their nudes? That's essentially the idea.
So it's his nudes.
It's his nudes,
or
he's dead.
everybody dies.
He's dead. He's dead. That matters a lot for people. Yeah, don't forget that he's dead.
Or if everybody dies.
Either his nudes get leaked, but everyone's safe, or his nudes do not get leaked. You don't betray his trust or whatever, but everyone dies. He's dead, by the way. He's already dead regardless.
So then his news will have to be leaked then. Like,
What do you mean? Wait, what?
I'm not. His nudes are gonna have to be leaked then, because
Yes, if you don't, everyone dies. If you don't leak the nudes, everyone dies, including you.
Okay, so then I'm not gonna kill everybody.
So you're gonna leak his nudes.
I guess so.
Do you feel any resistance with that answer? Like inner
I just
conflict?
think it's so silly.
It's silly not to leak the nudes, is what you're saying. Like it's obvious to you that you should.
No,
leak the nudes.
I think it's silly that that's even like a thing.
That
you
like
know?
that like
a
it should
question.
be that it's too obvious to you basically what the answer should be.
No, I'm saying that
it's an absurd
silly
hypothetical.
that it's a yeah.
Okay, it says. All right. Well, you would leak the nudes.
Yes, I would, to save a
Everyone.
fucking bunch of people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So this is probably the last morals related question I'm gonna ask you. Tell me if you agree with this. It seems like you don't really believe in rights in the sense that you would violate people's rights if enough human lives were at stake. So, for example, if breaking someone's private property so you could save 1 million lives was a thing, you would probably break the private property. If in the hypothetical, no one's gonna punish you legally. So if you could like secretly destroy someone's private property without being detected, so you can save lives, you would probably do it. You don't actually respect their rights in terms of there's like a hierarchy of goals that you have. You, for as much as possible, you want everyone's private rights to be protected, privacy rights and property rights. But if there are situations where you have to like sacrifice someone's rights or ignore someone's rights so you can have another more important goal met, you would violate certain rights just so you can achieve a more important goal, right? Is that fair? Is that something you relate to? Or would you rather let a million people die and keep the Mona Lisa with like if someone wanted to put mayo on someone's on the Mona Lisa and you could stop him, but like you don't give a shit about that. Like you would rather like you don't really give a shit about private property if lives were at stake, like rights, private property rights and shit,
Yeah.
because lives are more important for you.
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. I think we're done with your type.
Like, I'm not gonna say, no, that's mine! You know, like, what the fuck? Like, people are fucking dying, you asshole.
Okay.
Nobody cares.
In fact, like you would not like it if people didn't try to infringe. Like you would consider it more sane if people actually violated your rights and your private rights so they can save lives.
Well, I wouldn't phrase it like that. But I'm saying if you're like being stingy in the time of need, then you're just being fucking selfish.
I remember making a
Like you're
hypothetical.
you're being the cause of people's death because of the fact that you're being stingy. That's how I see it anyway. So
Yeah. So this is really cool because I have another. Unfortunately, it seems like I need to ask you more questions out of curiosity. This is the next one. The next one is I wrote it down. I just entered it in the chat. A billionaire doesn't want to share his money to the government to help the government win the war because, and his contribution is crucial for the country's victory. The government is minimally corrupt and maximally effective at using its funds for wartime productivity. The country's values and heritage are worth protecting in your eyes. Should the government take away the billionaire's money? You would probably say yes, right? If the government was reliable and trustworthy and effective and had really good values for a country, you would probably be okay with stealing all of the billionaires. Not stealing. I mean, you could call it stealing. Legally. I mean,
forcibly
take away, confiscate even his money.
Yes.
You don't give a shit about his money. I like his rights to his money because it's more important for the country to survive.
Well, he's about to kill a buttload of people if he doesn't cough it up, and if he doesn't want to cough it up,
yeah. If he prefers going to migrating to like Venezuela or something, just with his money, with some hookers and cocaine or something, just like chilling on an island or something. You just don't really.
Then he's the cause of the death of so many people.
Yeah.
So I think that the government would be doing the right thing. I mean, like I said, you're being stingy in the time of need.
Mm-hmm.
That's not reasonable. That's not sensible. It's not. It's just not. It's just literally not. I would never do that. So.
I have a next question for you. You have to choose between A and B. A, spawn 100 clones of yourself that would individually effectively assist 100 altruistic and effective organizations around your country with their causes for a year. After a year, the clones gather together to send you a detailed report compiling heartwarming stories of community building, camaraderie from the marginalized or relevant communities helped by the organizations. After a year, the clones disappear though. The B is get to meet a person who's the closest to ideal for you to befriend or date, either long term or short term. So some ideal person. Get to meet someone that's really good and amazing to hang out with.
What the fuck? Obviously A.
A? You wouldn't mean obviously. I mean, I don't know what you mean with obviously, but people in the server are 50-50 about this. I surveyed people about this. People do not agree about it. And I like that you chose A because that makes my stats even more. I think the 50-50 distribution is even more apparent now. Why would you say obviously A? Can you tell me your logic about this?
Okay, the chances of you meeting somebody.
You can do that anyway, normally, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like the chances of you meeting people that you are going to befriend or have, long-term, like you just do that naturally. You do that throughout your entire life.
Yeah.
I
this
don't.
One is like,
I personally don't think there's 100 clones of myself that are doing shit, all around the world.
Okay.
So.
I have a question for you.
I would go.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The way I view this letter B situation, my analogy for it was, if you like Snickers bars or like chocolate bars, and you were walking on in public, you find a chocolate bar on the ground, and you decided to eat it because it's obviously no one owns it. You can just eat it there. That's how I see it with the ideal partner, where it's a shortcut. You get to meet someone who's good for you right away. You don't need the natural socializing aspect. You don't need to socialize and like spend energy and time socializing to meet this person, and you get to save a lot of time, and it's like a free Snickers bar or like a free chocolate bar, and uh, for some reason, A to you is a bigger chocolate bar. Like, it's even yummier than the other one. Like, and it's a more rare chocolate
Yeah.
bar. It's not something you encounter normally, like the clone shit.
Yeah.
And you actually would feel good about the outcome as well. Like maybe the reports
Mhm.
of like the good shit happening in the societies that are helped by these clones. You would actually feel good about that.
Yes.
What exactly makes you feel good about it?
Well, the fact that I'm
Helping
contributing to.
Like helping people and shit.
Yes.
You like the idea of helping
Mhm.
people? Okay.
Yeah.
So my next question is, I've asked some
And it's
people.
not even technically me because it's like clones of me, so I can still do whatever the
Yes.
fuck I
It
want.
doesn't harm you with your
And
own
then
goals
the-
in life.
Yeah.
And you get to enjoy the stories after. So my
Yeah.
my question is, would you? I don't know if this is a question, but like I have some people who told me it depends on which country the orgs will be. If it's actually not just their own country, but some country they don't give a shit about. Like someone in the server called Rudy, his name is Rudy. He said that if it's an African country, like some really effective and altruistic orgs in Africa helping African people thrive, communities and shit, he wouldn't give a shit. He said Africa can sink. That's what he said. Like he doesn't care about it. He cares more about the UK where he lives or like first world countries. So he would rather. It depends. He would go with B if it's some useless shitty country that he doesn't care about. But if it's a really close to heart country, for example UK, where he thinks it actually the benefits would actually like come, it would actually like be good, a net positive for him in the long run, then yeah, he would go A. So it depends on the country for him, on how much freedom he has on which country to help. And I remember a guy from Iowa, he's from Iowa, from America. He said if it's not a community near him in the United States, if it's like African people or like the UK, he wouldn't give a shit about the UK as much. So he wouldn't really choose A for that. If it was some UK orgs for an American like him, he said he would rather go with B. But if it's a country like near him, his own country, for example, he would go A. And how do you feel about that? Would that actually matter for you, similarly, or would it not? Like, if it's a random shitty country, it's fine. You're still helping people, and you like the stories, and the robots or the clones can even translate the stories for you. If it's in African country where they don't speak English in the country, you could have them translate it in English so you could actually understand, and you could still hear the emotional stories, like the strong, inspiring stories of like, I don't know, community building in Africa where you don't actually know how everyone there lives because they speak a different language.
Yeah.
But you don't give a shit.
Yeah. That matters.
Oh, it matters.
Yeah.
Would it, if it's a random shitty country, would you care? Like, would you no
What?
longer click A? Would you go with B it now?
No, I would click A no matter,
No matter
what.
So it doesn't matter.
No.
Okay. And what do you feel about people who think it matters? You're just okay, cool.
Same answer as I always give. To each their own. You
To
know,
each their
for
own.
me, it's just like.
Mhm.
For me, it's just like I just see it more beneficial to, not only the citizens of wherever the fuck my clones are going, but on top of that, it's beneficial to me because I get to learn more about the world and not even have to go there. I mean, that sounds like a win-win to me. I'm saving money and I'm also hearing a bunch of crazy stories. Hell yeah. So yeah, I would go with A no matter what.
So
Because even in like small towns or like poor cities, there's still lots of drama. There's still lots of news to cover, and sometimes it gets swept under the rug.
In letter B,
So
even if we
yeah.
assume that in letter B it's like the imagine it's almost like an like a in letter B it doesn't even feel like a real person anymore. Like it's someone who compliments you in every way you want. Like they give you everything you want in the partner. It doesn't matter. That's still something you're not gonna be excited to meet compared to A. You'd be more excited about A than like meeting the perfect partner for you.
Yes.
I love that.
Okay, that's interesting.
So the thing about it is, I also try to see the oh my god, I can never pronounce this word right, so I'm gonna try. I try to see like the end result of it. What is going to be overall um more beneficial long term? And I mean, it's just so it's so you don't even have to think about it. It's going to benefit not just you, but the citizens. But for B, right? Let's say I do find like the ideal best friend or ideal date. Um, okay. Uh, first off, first off, I just gave up a really good opportunity to help hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands of people,
for a really good
and
partner,
I would not feel
you would feel
yeah
happy with a
for
partner,
and I would
but you would feel shit with the 100
I,
clones.
I'm satisfied. That's my thing though, is like I'm satisfied uh not not finding that ideal partner, you know what I mean? Like I'm happy alone. I really don't need that. I really don't need that. So I don't find that beneficial to me long term, especially since you don't know where it's gonna go. I mean, that's so question mark. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you did something right. You did something good, and that it's that the effects of what you did, the consequences of what you did, is going to positively affect the environment for a very long time. Without, I mean, you don't even have to question that you did that, right? But for B, you don't know where it's gonna end. You don't know. It could fucking end next week. You don't know. And
Okay.
so that's too question mark ending for me. I'd rather just have a certain like, yes, you did this, and yes, the effects of what you did is going to last a lifetime,
Mhm.
so I'd rather have a for sure ending than a question mark ending.
Okay. So wait, you're saying it's not certain the ending in the letter B? The ending is not certain in letter B.
Yes.
Why is it not certain
Yeah.
again? Because this could still get fucked. Like your lives could still, if
Yeah,
not,
I mean,
wait,
that partner could cheat on me. I mean,
they could
that
get hit by
partner
a
could
truck or
die.
something.
That partner,
Hmm.
yeah, like there's too many.
Okay, so if it,
Uh,
okay, I like that you mentioned that because now I can ask you a very important follow up question, which is, if your partner was guaranteed to not even, if they weren't even like a normal person anymore, they're like a robot at this point, where because they're guaranteed to never cheat on you, they're just going to be like, it's like The Sims. You made your own boyfriend on The Sims, and 3D printed
uh-huh.
you 3D printed him on Earth, and now this
Yeah.
your partner is perfectly never gonna cheat with you on you ever. He's just never gonna do shit that you don't like, and for some reason in the
Uh-huh.
hypothetical, he's also immortal, or he's just someone you can rely on forever. You're never gonna lose him ever.
Okay. Yeah.
So does that change anything for
What
you?
about
He's just
to
never.
go with B or to go
Yeah,
with A
if
or
B if the partner in B is someone who never
I
leave you
don't
ever,
give a fuck. I'm still gonna go with A.
and even if it was a
Like
guaranteed
it's not
cool
gonna change
relationship with
anything.
this guy, this fake guy who's not
No,
actually a real
I
person,
don't care. I mean, the like I said, the effect is going to be more
more
beneficial
beneficial.
for A, and not just for me. I mean, that partner is going to be for me. That's a selfish, for me, in my opinion, that's a selfish decision, because I could either positively affect the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, or it can positively affect the life of what, me, of one other Are you cute? No, like I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather just go with A.
Okay, I
So
I
yeah,
understand why
no.
it's like, I
And like
really
I said, like I'm just so like I'm so used to just like living my life, doing things independently. Like, there's no reason. I don't, for me, with the life that I've lived so far, there's no reason for me to go with B. It's just, it's so, it's not my thing.
Would,
It's not,
do you know
I
what
would
most
never
of your
choose
friends
that.
is pick? What would your most of your friends pick for this question?
I know that one of them would definitely pick A and the other one would probably pick B. Talking about my two closest
Oh,
girlfriends.
really? 50.
So,
Your friends aren't
yeah.
even like united about it. Or they have different preferences about it. Very different.
Yeah, I already know one of them would definitely pick A and the other one would definitely pick B.
Why would
So,
the one I'm interested in
they're
the one
just that.
that would go B? Why? Like they don't care about the A, right? So why do they not care about A?
Because she is very, she's,
She's like me. I would
how
also
do I
go
say,
B.
like,
Yeah.
well, she's very, like, she doesn't live her life for other people. She lives her life for her. And whatever benefits her, it's is she's gonna try to make that come into fruition. So, she's gonna go with B. I mean, I if it wasn't 3:30 in the morning, I would even call her and confirm that she would pick B. Um, but she's sleeping right now, so. But yeah, she's very, um, she thinks very much about herself, and that's not a bad thing. But she's gonna do what's best for her in her eyes, and she would pick B.
I'm assuming.
I know the other girl would pick A.
Would you
Me
sink?
and her are on the same
Yeah.
wavelength.
Would you sink Africa to save these friends of yours? If again, again, no, you won't be in any trouble because for some reason no one's gonna know you sang Africa in this hypothetical. Would you sing Africa for your friends, your besties, or would you sink?
For my
Would you
besties,
sink your besties for Africa to save Africa? Sink your besties.
would I sink my besties to save Africa? Oh my god, that's
In
insane.
either case, no one's gonna know.
Um,
No one's gonna know you did it, right?
no one's gonna know.
I won't tell your besties. Don't worry. You can answer.
uh, surely at least one of them would be understanding that I'm not gonna sink an entire fucking continent, or that I'm not gonna sink an entire continent. Um, so yeah, they'd probably have to go. I'm not
What?
gonna sink an entire continent.
Holy what? You
It's
wouldn't.
not gonna
I mean,
happen.
that's not supposed to be surprising for me. I'm just thinking, wow. Okay, so would just be applicable for anyone as well, like anyone in your life. You would rather sacrifice your loved ones for Africa, partner,
I'm not
friends,
going to sink an entire continent of just innocent people. It's not gonna happen.
and do you agree?
I'm not that
w-
girl.
Is it surprising to you, or is it normal for you that a lot of people would sing Africa for?
I mean, it's not surprise. I mean, that's I'm not surprised by that, but
Yeah,
like I said, like a lot of people also don't think about there's so many families that live in Africa. There's so many innocent
they don't
lives that live
care.
in Africa.
Is it? They don't care
You're
about those families. Some of them.
okay. Well, then, I mean, to each your own. Like I say,
You care about them,
like
and they
if you
don't.
wanna
But
if
what do
you
you
wanna
you
kill a
care?
whole
Yeah.
continent, then
Yes.
you fucking do that. But I'm not going to
I'm
do
really
that.
interested. Like these people will never actually know you exist. You will never meet them, but you still care about them, right?
I
Like
don't give
there's
a fuck.
you care about these
They're still
African.
innocent
They're
people.
innocent people. Like that's very interesting because an ENTP
Because that's
stereotypical.
like that you could ask that about somebody in Africa and be like, oh, would you rather sink the United States of fucking America or kill your dog or some shit? And I'd be like, can you not? Can you not? Can you maybe not? You know what I mean? Like, I'd be screaming from the bleachers, please don't. And I just think about that, like they would be screaming, they would be crying, like no, I don't want to be the cause of that. So
Oh, there
of
you go.
course.
Oh, there you go. The next questions are not very morals related. I don't even know if I should ask them but I'll just mention briefly, I guess, one of them. which is okay. I'll just list down. I'm not gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna list down what it says on my notes. It says LGBT stuff, gender roles,
Okay.
polyamory, phobias and isms,
Mhm.
ethics, politics. So I guess I would go with none of them are related to. They're actually relevant in the your type unromantic MBTI rather than morals. So I guess I'll just skip that. Uh,
Wait, I want to answer the
yeah,
questions. What are the
those
questions?
are for romance. Those are for romance. We can definitely talk about that right now or in a bit. I'm just thinking if I missed out on
Okay.
some morals related questions. Oh,
Okay, while you
Okay,
look
I found
over
it.
that, let me go pee really quick.
okay.
Okay.
I found it, but you can.
Should I answer it now or
Up to you. You want me to?
can I? Do I have time?
I'll give you time to think about it by asking you the question, and then you can
Okay.
think about it when you're pissing.
Okay. While I'm pissing. Yep.
Yeah. So one of them is the list goes what do you feel about bullies bullying what do you feel about bullying bullies, and then are you bothered when people bully bullies, and then the next one is
Oh boy.
and then the next one is um the N word and how it should be used in
Mhm.
society, and then can a white guy say the N word with a hard R, and then the next one is cheating for an unfair exam. So these are very vague. I'll elaborate later, but those are some of the questions. You can pee now or something.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Alright.
Sold his boots as well. Both the AD carries going bare feet.
Yeah, we're full like. And you're actually starting to see, Vedi, as you were mentioning, Genji trying to play for all three lanes, identifying that it is really hard to push through this BLG if you're only playing two legs to the wave clear of Elk and Yagao, being something that even with Baron, you don't seem to be able to really chew through.
Well, I think with the Baron, what you can do though is Chovy can sit top and then use the Baron empowered minions to actually start threatening the Nexus towers, right? Assuming he can take that inhibitor down, which then should draw them just a single member from BLG away. And there you go, they've unlocked the bottom tower. As long as they can play away from the Caitlyn, then Genji can slowly chip away. You can see now BLG being divided. The Yone in the top lane.
Chovy the target for now, but the cannon minions doing enough work on those inhibitors. Inhibitor in the bottom lane will fall. Pays locked up, flashes away. The Cataclysm will get his GA, but is it enough here for BLG? Dorman coming in from the flanks as Pays is brought back to life. The flag and the drag from Shun is just found a wanting, but the engage continues from BLG. Genji disengaged perfectly to keep their AD carry alive.
And that's a really big moment. That is Flash and GA gone here for Pays. He sells it immediately. We'll see what he picks up. Looks like he's going back to boost. Chovy, not done though, wants to pick up this inhibitor. And Genji, they get away with two inhibs and
You're
the
back?
life. Oh,
Yes.
Welcome back. So
Okay.
let's go
yes.
with
So the
Yeah,
first
anyway.
question.
bullying
What's
bullies.
the first question?
Bullying bullies. Would you bully a bully, and what do you feel about other people bullying bullies? It's like a tongue
I
twister.
have bullied a bully.
You have bullied a bully. Okay, we
I
don't have.
have
We can
done
skip
it.
the question now. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's skip it. Let's go to the next question.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, do you feel good about it? Do you regret it? Or-
No, I don't regret it at all.
So you like bullying bullies?
No, he absolutely
How did you bully him? Like, you don't have to be super specific, but what kind of like? But up to a level you're comfortable sharing.
Humiliation.
Like, were you like
humiliation.
talking about his looks or something, or his life, or?
No, so a lot of people, and just generally speaking, are not very outspoken about like bullies. Like usually, especially it's so funny because even in like movies and stuff, when people get bullied, they just kind of take it.
Uh-huh.
But for me,
You could work
I
it,
took it for
but
a while,
Genji-
and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna, I know that they want a reaction out of me, so I'm not gonna give them a reaction and stuff. And during that time, I was just piling up all of this evidence, all of these pictures and screenshots and all of that. And eventually, I had humiliated them online, which eventually led to humiliating
Wait,
them
what
as a
screenshots
person.
again? Sorry, can you clarify?
like, so it's just pictures of terrible things that they did.
Oh, compiling
Um,
evidence of shitty things they've done.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that doesn't seem that bad. How is it
Um,
bullying then? Define bullying in this at this point, because it seems almost like justified self-defense, quote unquote self-defense. Like, how is it bullying in your eyes?
because I didn't need to do that. I mean,
Oh, okay, makes
that's not
sense.
necessary for me to humiliate
I know what
them.
you're trying to say.
And
I understand.
I know that I knew that it wasn't like I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to pile up evidence. I mean, I needed to pile up evidence for other reasons, but I didn't need to humiliate them online. And in doing that online, it actually led to them being humiliated in public. So, in my eyes, that is bullying. But because I knew I didn't have to do it and it wasn't
Oh, you think
necessary.
humiliating someone in
Um,
public is, in this situation specifically, is bullying?
I think it was justified, though. I
Like,
think it was
justified
justified,
bullying. So
absolutely.
it's like
But
almost like justified
yes, yes.
bullying. Okay. It's just really language dependent on how you want to define bullying, because if I'm trying to remember. So if you were, okay, here's another one. If a black guy, I don't know, Asian guy, just murdered your family and stuff and killed everything you love and you like, stole everything away from you, would, or not you, like someone, your friend's family, and your friend started saying slurs to that guy, how would you feel? Would you be like, no, don't do that, that's not nice? Or like the slurs, like just to vent out her emotions, your friend, they started saying slurs to some person. How would you feel about that? You're like, oh,
I
let it all
would be
out.
shocked because none of my friends would do
Do that.
that.
Okay.
Um,
Would it be okay
but
for
I
them to
mean,
say those
what the fuck
slurs
am
in
I gonna
that
do?
context for you?
Would it be okay for them?
Or like indifferent? Would you be
Um,
indifferent? Would you actually not like it?
I wouldn't like it, but I mean, if they just went through a shit ton of like trauma,
Yes, they did.
it's
And they're like calling
it's.
the person slurs because to cope or something. I don't know.
I think it's. I think it's okay. This is gonna sound so like so
Spicy.
weird,
Okay.
but I think that it's justified, but I don't think it's reasonable. I think
Justified but
it's
not reasonable.
justified.
Maybe understandable
Yes.
but not. I don't know the word. You think it's understandable, but you wouldn't approve of it. Like you would. I don't know the word either. I don't know the word that I should be saying here.
Like I wouldn't do that.
But you would.
I definitely wouldn't do
You
that.
would understand it if someone else did that or something. I don't know the word. I don't know the proper word that we should be using.
I would understand why she reacted in that way after going through all that.
Yes.
But I wouldn't be there on the sidelines rooting her on, like, yes, keep calling them slurs, go, go, go. Like, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna kind of stand there on the sidelines, like, what the fuck? Like,
Okay.
okay.
Well, that's cool. You really don't have a. You really have a thing against slurs. Like it's just not. Some people would even be like, yeah.
It would just
They would do
be
exactly what
very
you said. They
shocking.
would cheer them on, like, fuck that guy, and call him any slurs you want, so you can cope with your
No.
problem and the stress.
I mean, you can insult him, but I wouldn't be calling him slurs though. Personally.
Insult his personality.
It's
Rather,
like, what the fuck is that gonna do?
Okay. So bullying bullies.
Like, remind him of what he did, not of who he is. You know what I mean?
So.
Like,
Yeah.
keep putting in his mind, like, you killed my family, like, you did this, you're a terrible person for, like, you gotta put in his brain, like, what he did was wrong, but,
Okay.
like, calling him slurs is not gonna fucking do anything.
I have a question. If the guy was really
Also, I
ugly.
think I just, like, inhaled a bunch of fucking,
Oh, what?
a vapor rub in my nose. Oh my god.
Oh, wait, is it your vape? Or
Oh
someone's
my
vape?
god. It's,
Do you vape? by the
no,
way?
not vape. No, I don't.
You don't vape.
No, it's like medicine. Like I put. Oh my god,
Okay,
it's
I get
going
it.
down my throat. Okay, go ahead.
Um,
Go ahead.
if the guy was, the murderer was ugly as fuck, is he's ugly, and your friend was bullying him because calling him an ugly guy, describing his ugly qualities, facial features. Same story? Is it the same story, or is it not as bad as the slurs?
Like I said, there's no point. I mean, she can do it all she wants, but it's not gonna get your point across. I mean, saying that he's ugly, you can call him stupid, you can call him an idiot, you can say all of these slurs, you can say all of these terrible things, but you're not instilling in his brain that what he fucking did was wrong. I mean, you're just wasting your breath and your time.
Unlike in what you did, where humiliating the guy was actually like productive in your eyes.
It was productive in terms of they got a taste, a little bit of a taste of what they did to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, obviously, I wouldn't advise her, hey, go, since he killed your family, go murder his family. You know, like, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna fucking say that. Okay. But like, I'm gonna be like, you know, if you want to make him feel that guilt, if you want to hang that over his head that he just took something very valuable away from you, you need to make that perfectly clear to him. Like, you have to instill that into his brain. He fucked up big time, you know? Otherwise, he's just gonna think, yeah, just another family murdered, you know? Like, you gotta instill that. Okay. So that's what I would do. Anyways.
What if the guy was no longer savable? Like, he's not really, he's like a psychopath or sociopath with no feelings of remorse whatsoever.
No remorse.
And the guy just wanted to, like, okay, I'll just make fun of him then so I can feel good. Like, I'm gonna use him to feel good, kind of thing. Like, I'm gonna call him.
Still.
You don't like that still for yourself?
No, it doesn't make sense. It still doesn't. There's nothing you get from that. All that is just, what is that, gossip? Like, all it is, oh yeah, he's fucking dumb. Oh yeah, he's fucking stupid. Like that's, what the fuck? That's not gonna do anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, but you don't care about, like, their argument, which is, like, it's not good enough, their argument for you. Which is, they just want to feel good. Like, I want to bully this guy because he fucked my life, so I'm just gonna bully him and humiliate him in, like, racist ways or slurs. Just to feel
why
good.
Though? Why in
because
that way?
Good.
Why not?
It's this.
Why not for the fact that he just murdered your family instead of coming at him?
Basically, like, it's like torturing someone that destroyed your life. Just torturing them as much as possible.
But that's not torturing them, though. That's you're making fun of him for things that
social torture.
He can't change.
Yeah, you're essentially just like,
you know, like if he's like, hi, welcome, by the way. Yeah. If he's like not mentally capable of feeling remorse, and he doesn't feel any guilt, or he's just so indifferent about that, like, what the fuck difference is that gonna make? That's not torture for him at all. You're just doing nothing. I mean, you're not even throwing a stick at him because he's not gonna feel the fucking stick. Like, there's no point.
No, I know what I mean is, even if the guy doesn't feel remorse, he can still feel bad if people are, like, you know, like, saying slurs to him. Like, it's still socially damaging. Like, if you call him. So it actually harms the guy still.
Okay, I mean, if he's already a fucking psychopath, he's not gonna care about that. Why the fuck would he care?
He could still care. Like, it depends on how you define psychopath. So I'll just give you another example instead, so it's clear what I'm trying to say here.
But I don't know. I to answer your question, no. I would not.
You wouldn't be okay with torturing.
My thing is that because what the fuck difference is that gonna make?
I have an ENTJ friend.
He murdered your family.
I have an ENTJ friend who would legit, if her whatever her main goal is in life is to be this certain profession, and her profession got fucked because, let's say, like, her teacher gave her an unfair grade, and the teacher was extremely unreasonable and just not careful.
What, you're gonna call them a bunch of slurs? Like, that's gonna fucking get you anywhere?
She would kidnap the guy and torture him.
Oh my
God. Because her life was pretty much over at that point. This goal of her to be, like, a certain profession is a big deal for her life. It's essentially her main purpose in life right now. So because of that being taken away by some retarded guy, or some guy who really doesn't care about her goals, doesn't have any empathy to her students, or to the guy doesn't care about his students' goals in life, she would actually like just dedicate her life to torturing this guy, and just she's essentially
That's ridiculous.
she's essentially just dead at that point. Like, she would consider herself spiritually dead. She's spiritually dead, where
Okay.
her life just is void, and therefore the only thing that quote unquote makes sense for her is to just keep torturing the guy. That would be the main purpose in her life now. Just a lot of anger and resentment. How do you feel about that?
Okay.
It's an ENTJ
I think
who
that's
told me this.
ridiculous, but
You think it's ridiculous?
I
Why?
mean, I think that's ridiculous in my eyes, but okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Like, what the fuck? You see, because for me, if plan A doesn't work, that's fine. Plan B is there. If plan B doesn't work, that's fine. Plan C is there. Like, you're not supposed to just have, like, okay, I was born to do this and only this, and if I can't do this and I can't get to this place at this time, and like, why the fuck would you set yourself up for that? You are setting yourself up to fail. Inevitably, you are setting yourself up to fail. You should not be thinking that way. You should be thinking, okay, yes, I have goals to be there. I have ambition. I have the work ethic to get to where I want to be. Sure. But you always need to have a what if plan. You always need to have a what if plan. And if her what if plan doesn't exist and she results to nothing but torturing people, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's so pointless.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So just move on to another goal in life is what you're saying. Just
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's not going to be easy. I'm not trying to say, like, oh my God, like, you know, the day that you fail the exam or whatever, he gives you a bad grade or whatever, and you can't pass to go where you want to go, you know, just suck it up. Like, I'm not going to say that, because it's very much easier said than done. But you already should have had a plan B and C. You should have already had that. And if you don't prepare yourself for that, okay, one thing that I learned very early on in my life, you need to prepare for you need to plan for the unplanned. You
Okay.
need to prepare yourself for things that aren't on the radar.
Okay.
You need to do that.
I have a
Otherwise,
question.
you're setting yourself up to fail.
The question I have is, what do you feel about people who are like, I don't need to make a backup goal because I only care about this goal. This goal is either this
Good luck.
or life is over for me. Like that, they only care about this.
Good luck.
They don't care about making other goals or exploring other goals because it is the only confident goal. They're confident this is the only goal that's worth committing to for them.
Good luck and
luck.
best wishes. That's all I say.
Do you think that's a dumb person? Or what's the word you would use to describe this person who thinks that way?
I would say that they need to are lacking maturity.
Lacking maturity.
I think they're lacking. I think I changed my mind. It's irresponsibility. That's what I say it is. It's irresponsibility. Because if you are responsible for your future.
Yeah.
That's just how that works. I mean, you can blame it on 1,000 people if you fucking want to. Trust me, I've tried. Okay, it doesn't get me anywhere. It doesn't get me anywhere where I want to be, I should say.
Yep.
So you need to, like I said, you need to have a plan B and C. And if people don't want to have a plan B and C, so be it. Settle on the life that you're living. That's fine. That's not gonna fucking affect me. But you can't sit there and bitch about your life going to shit when plan A doesn't work.
Okay.
You can't. Because I mean you fucking can, but like obviously you fucking
You're
can.
saying every
You
human
can
being,
bitch all you want.
like virtually
But
every
you
human
need to have a
being-
plan B and C.
You're saying every human being, or almost every human being at least, can have plan Bs. It's not something that only some people can do. Almost everyone can have plan Bs. Because this person, if they argued it doesn't work for them, it doesn't apply to them. I don't think a plan B is something I care about. But you're like, I don't think I can care about a plan B. I only care about plan A. Sticking with one plan.
Then don't. Then fucking don't. But let me tell you, once you don't get to achieve that goal A, if you do, I mean, shit, you're free sailing. You're good. You're good for the rest of your life, you know, until you encounter another complication. But like, if you have any complications with getting to goal A, to plan A, you can't fucking sit and bitch and cry and whine because it didn't go your way and you can't see the point of life anymore. You don't see the purpose of living anymore, because that's on you. That is completely on you for not making plan B and plan C for yourself.
And if they say that they're not compatible with that solution, like it's not something they
No,
actually care.
they're okay. This is what's wrong with people these days. They always think, I can't do this, I can't do that. You need to get the fuck out of that mindset. When you keep telling yourself, I can't do this, I can't do that, you will not be able to do it, because you are putting your mind in a box. And of course you're not going to be able to think, oh, you know what? Maybe I can. Okay, let me try it. Let me give it a chance. Let me give it an opportunity to see how well it will succeed for me. People don't think about that. They don't think optimistically anymore. It's all negative. It's all terrible. Everything goes wrong. And no, of course you're gonna want to stray cautiously, right? But you also want to have fun with it. You also want to experiment with it. You don't want to keep your mind in a box, because when you keep saying you can't, you're making sure that you can't.
Okay.
You are literally stopping yourself from doing something that you can do.
You think everyone can do it? People are just delusional if they think.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying delusional. I'm saying that they are under the
List.
Impression that they are not capable of doing something that they are capable of doing. And the only reason why that they're not capable of doing it is because they're not putting themselves in the mindset of, I can, instead of I can't.
Would you judge a 40-year-old differently? A 40-year-old who does this versus like an 18-year-old? Probably, right? 18-year-old has more leeway and development, but like a 40-year-old who thinks that way, you would probably like, how would you feel about a 40-year-old?
Think what way?
Like the boxing in themselves in that way and not being open to the possibilities, or not being aware of the
wouldn't they have already gotten more and more years of experience of experimenting?
And if they're still like that, if they're so stubbornly into only plan A and not interested in other plans because they don't think it applies to them, then what do you think about those people?
If it's working out for them, if their journey to plan A and that's the only plan they have is working out for them, then go for it.
If it doesn't work out, if it doesn't work out though, for them,
then they can't whine about it.
When you say whine, that's like
they cannot whine about it.
That's an interesting wording. Like when you say whine, because I think the person who would torture that I told you about, that would torture the teacher, would you
that's
say
that's coping?
They're like,
that's whining.
How do you define whining here? Like what if they're just like, my life is over and
that's, in my opinion, that's throwing a tantrum. That's throwing a straight up tantrum. You're gonna throw a fucking tantrum and go torture this dude's life just because you got a bad grade, you earned a bad grade,
and the guy deserves
it on a fucking
eyes.
exam. Seriously,
in her eyes, the guy is a shitty person.
Well, that's in her eyes, but not in mine. I'm not gonna let one person dictate where I go in my life.
Okay, question.
What the fuck?
What if the guy actually wanted her to suffer? Like, it's not even just indifference, it's actual malicious intent. Would that change anything? Torturing the guy with malicious intent? Wanting to fail her on purpose? That's a different...
Why not go the intelligent route? Why not go the actual legal route? Fucking talk to the school about it or something.
Let's say she's not interested in that. Yeah, she just really wants to torture the guy.
Okay, then that's not my problem.
And you don't like that.
That's not my problem. She doesn't want to go the legal route.
And you don't like that, right?
She doesn't want to actually
you don't like that
be productive.
You don't like that she's not taking the legal route. It's not optimal for you, right?
It's a tantrum. It's a tantrum.
Okay.
You're throwing a tantrum because life didn't go the way that you want.
No matter how evil the guy is, it's not the legal...
It does not matter. It does not matter.
Okay.
It does not matter.
All right.
She needs to take that. She needs to take that step,
Uh-huh.
the professional route, because acting like this, where you're gonna throw a fucking tantrum because life didn't go the way that you wanted,
Uh-huh.
that's not professional in any fucking sense at all. And let me tell you, if she does get into the field, and she does pass that exam and everything goes well, that's not a professional or mature mindset to have at all.
Okay.
Oh, things didn't go my way, I'm gonna go kill a person. What the fuck?
Okay.
Seriously?
I'm probably gonna mention this topic again in the future, in outside the context of typing sessions, because this is a really fascinating topic to me in general. Like the thing, it's actually, you're probably like, why is this even a conversation? Like this is obviously like some horrible attitude towards life, and there's nothing deeper about it. It's probably what you're thinking. For me, it's the fact that people have varying stances on it. Like I have enough friends who would actually say, or people that I talk to that would say they would also, in your eyes, throw a tantrum like this girl. So I guess for you, there would just be more cringe people. For me, it's like an interesting diversity.
Like, for my thing is, it's not throwing a tantrum if you go the route of
The legal-
professionalism.
Yeah.
If you take that route of, okay, let me go contact, because I don't feel like this was the grade that I was supposed to earn. Let me go contact the right authorities. Let me go contact the right people so that something can get done from this situation, and it's actually a productive result, right? And it will still lead me on the plan A path that I want to be on. That, I don't feel like that's a tantrum, because you're going the professional route. But when you're saying all this absurd shit about, oh, I'm gonna kidnap him, I'm gonna fucking murder his family, I'm gonna torture him, what the fuck? First off, I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people say that. A lot of people say these like absurd things, but then won't follow through with it. I'm going to let you know right now, I am one of the most, and I'm saying this straight up, not to be a narcissist, but I'm one of the most straightforward, genuine people that you'll meet. Okay? When I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm going to do it. There's no, oh, I'm gonna fucking jump off the roof of a 5-story palace. Like, what the fuck? People say shit to say shit. And so, like, for me, it's just like, people don't actually think about it logically. If you were in that position, if this teacher really did give you that grade, and you really needed that aid to pass the class and to get, to get to where you want to be, are you being so fucking serious right now that you would actually kidnap that man, that you would actually fucking drag that man into a basement and torture him? I can tell you right now, there's a 90% chance you would not. A lot of people say shit just because they get too into their emotions and they don't think logically. They don't think about the emotional and the logical part combined. They only think about, you know what, I'm mad, so I'm going to do this.
Wow.
It doesn't click.
You seem to have
It doesn't
this,
click.
You seem to have this proclivity to, I don't know, towards professionalism. Like, you want everything to be handled in the most professional way possible, as much as possible. Like, everything needs to be done the rules.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Why throw a tantrum?
You don't
Where's
like-
that gonna get you?
You
That's
don't
not
like
gonna
the
get you
ideas,
anywhere.
things that are akin to like vigilante justice, or thinking matters into your own hands kind of thing as a vigilante. That generally.
I mean, you can. That is taking matters into your own hands.
You don't like that.
I mean,
right?
there.
not your
No,
thing.
that I'm saying that is a way. I'm saying that is a way of taking matters into your own hand by contacting the right authorities, by
Oh, yeah.
telling so and so,
I know what
okay,
you're
like
saying,
this
but
is
I
this is
didn't
my
mean it that
problem.
way. Obviously, what I meant was like vigilante justice, like not following the protocol, standard protocol, legal protocol. Like that's what I meant with taking matters into your own hands.
Where I always think about the result. I always think about the long-term effect on
Yeah,
things.
a lot of that is
So that's
immediate,
not
like
going to
people
get
would
you
say.
anywhere.
Yeah. But if the person just doesn't care about society though, like what if they just don't care, or they just care about their own emotions? Is that really irrational of them to do? Like they simply do not care about what society, how they would benefit or harm society in that aspect. They just care about feeling
Okay.
good personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's not a question for me. That's a question for them.
Do you think they're
I'm not
horrible
one of
people?
those people.
Do you think those people suck?
Like I just said, I don't think that they're matured, and I don't think
Okay,
that
so
they
you think they suck.
understand.
They're not
That's
mature enough. They
you.
suck.
No, I did not say that they suck.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you think I mean with suck? Is that like too negative of a word for you? You don't like the word suck? Because I'm just thinking it's enough.
Why would I tell somebody they suck? I just said that they're just
You're not telling
emotionally
them. Like,
immature.
you think they suck, but you don't have to tell them that. Like, you don't think they suck. How do you define suck?
No, I don't think they suck. I think that they're
They're immature.
emotionally immature.
Okay, is there? What is it? Okay, this is like a language thing, possibly. Like, what does it mean for someone to suck for you? What does a sucky person look like? Or is that like hard to imagine? Like, what would it take for you to say to someone, oh yeah, this guy sucks? Because clearly an immature person doesn't necessarily suck for you. They're just immature. They don't necessarily suck. For me, a guy who just throws tantrums 24/7, making life a living hell for everyone else, that guy sucks for me. That's how I would use the word suck, subjectively. You don't seem to be willing to call them sucky people for some reason. So I'm wondering.
I don't know. I don't know the individual. I don't know anything about this girl besides the fact that she has very
Torturing.
strong ambitions
Yes.
towards her goal.
Yeah.
Singular goal, which
Yep.
I don't agree with.
You
But
don't like, yeah.
but that being said, which I don't agree with. But with that being said, whatever works for her. I just don't think that it's professional, it's mature for you to claim that you're going to kidnap, and it's not even claim, but just even think about kidnapping and torturing a person because life didn't go your way. I mean, if I did that, I have so many goals in my life. And I have so many plans and plan A's and plan B's and plan C's. If I really fucking did that with every single person that has fucked up my plans, that has fucked up my goals, I'm pretty sure I'd be like in jail for like 1,000 years. Like I would no parole or like anything. Like that's such a destructive mindset to have. Because you, like I said, in my opinion, you're setting yourself up to fail by not only having my issue with this individual is the fact that they believe that they can only consist of having one goal and this one goal only, and this one plan. They don't have a plan B and they don't have a plan C. Now, additionally to me having a problem with that, the other issue that I have with this individual is that they are claiming to do terrible things to a person that they deem as terrible. Okay, so terrible person. Okay, and there's a lot of people in my life that I, think are terrible people, right? But I would never sit there and give them hell. Okay, I would not do that personally. There's a lot of people in throughout my life that have ruined my plans, that have completely they've made me have to change my plans, have to change my my day or my week according to what had happened, the results of what had happened. But at the end of the day, that's fine with me because I have a plan A. Oh, you want to fuck up my plan A? That's fine. I have a plan B. Oh, you want to fuck up my plan B too? That's fine. I have a plan C. And if plan C doesn't work, that's fine because that gives what? It gives me time to make a plan D. So this is what I do when these don't work out, when plan A, and it sucks because I'm not trying to say like, okay, at plan C, I still have the same amount of motivation that I had for plan A. That's not true, right? Like my long-term goal in my life, right, is one of mine. I'm going to name one of mine, top of my head, is to get married, okay? I want to get married. I really do.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm learning more about
like
you.
later in my life, right?
Okay.
But let's say person that I've spent maybe a partner that I've spent 5 years with hasn't proposed, right? Okay. Wow, 5 years. All right. Okay, let's give him another year. Maybe he's still preparing. Okay. Give him another year. That's 6 years. 6 years. Okay, where's the fucking ring? All right. Okay, let's give him one more. Okay, 7 years, man. 7? You really need 7 years? All this time, right? Obviously, I'm still gonna be having conversations with him, making sure, like, hey, like, we still want the same things, right? You know what I mean? Kind of ensuring I'm not wasting my time and you're not wasting your time, and this is worth the wait, right? But let's say he dumps me, or let's say let's say he dumps me. Okay, wow, that's a lot of time from my life that's gone to shit, and it just, now I have to reset and try to get closer to my goal. That just pushed me back so many years behind my goal. I really want to get to my goal. Like, let's say I wanted to be married by 30, right? If I had just spent 7 years on this man, and now I'm fucking back to square one, single, right? And heartbroken, double homicide. That's pushing me back really far from my goal, but it doesn't make it impossible. Then what do? I dust off, pat off the dirt, and I try again. Okay. Date 1 didn't go so well. Okay, let me try again. Date 2, it's okay. Date 3, okay, there we go. I feel the spark. This is going good. And that's why I'm saying, yes, it's really fucking hard, especially when it comes to like relationships, right? Because I know getting married by 30, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough, especially in this generation where people don't want to commit. It's really hard. I know that. I know that it's a challenge, but I also know that it's not impossible.
Yeah,
And I know that I can do it. And
Right.
I'm saying that I
Yes.
can do it because I want it to happen.
Question for you: what does marriage provide in your life? Why do you care about it?
Honestly, and I'm telling you this honestly,
Yes.
I find it just so fun to get married. I think that it's gonna be a fabulous day.
Maybe the social
I think
status
that
shit,
the
like
whole
making everyone like, yes, look at her,
No,
beautiful
I mean,
life.
not really. That's not what I'm looking for, though. That's not my point. Is
Okay.
that I think that it's just such a um it's a very important day. It's a very emotional day where everybody that you everybody that's here on earth um that loves and cares for the relationship is there,
Yeah.
and it's really bringing that bond between everybody. um
Okay.
it's kind of, I kind of see it like a family reunion for like both sides,
Okay.
that's how I see it, but
You care.
it's just a
You
very
value
expensive,
that. You value that feeling of closeness or unity or community.
it's a very expensive family reunion. That's what it is.
And
It's a
you
very
value that a lot.
expensive family
That
reunion.
feels really valuable to you.
I yes, and I very much value that emotional connection that will be
Wow.
present with
Okay.
everyone
Okay.
that day. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Holy
Yes,
shit.
it's nice to be in a pretty dress and pretty makeup and pretty hair. Yes, I'm looking forward to that too. But overall, just the fact that everybody, because weddings are so important, marriage is so important to a lot of people, not to everyone, but to a lot of people,
Uh-huh.
especially like, families and stuff
Uh-huh.
of older generations.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's going to be just so emotionally vulnerable, so emotionally accepting and respectful and mature that day, that
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be the day that I really, really look forward to. And that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm looking forward to the
Mm-hmm.
most.
Okay. Okay, I have a question for you.
That's
I
yeah.
have a really hard one. I think this is hard for people, but I don't think you would necessarily find it hard. I want it. I hope it's hard. I really hope you struggle answering this question. I really want you to struggle with this
Okay.
question. I doubt it though. Um,
Okay. Let's hear it.
you're about to have your wedding, the most anticipated
Uh-huh.
day of your life. Everyone's ready. Everyone's happy.
Right.
Everyone's excited. Looking forward to it. A day before it, though, something happens in your wedding or before your wedding, the day before. Jeff Bezos
What happened?
contacted
okay.
your husband, and Bald Bezos said to your husband,
Okay.
"I'm about to give you all of my money, every single thing, all up to the single cent, but you have to cancel your wedding, and you have to make your partner, everyone in your family, feel like shit. Like you have to not explain what's going on, and then you're allowed to explain it eventually, but you'll have to not know. You'll have to keep them in the dark for like a few days or weeks."
For how much you said?
How many days? Let me think of how many days. Maybe
No,
like
for how much money?
How much? All of his money. You want
Yeah.
me to Google it right now for you? Okay, wait. Let me. Jeff Bezos net worth. Let's see. 144 billion dollars will go
Okay,
to
so
to your
let me hear
Okay.
the rest. I don't really actually care about the money, so let me just because I already know my answer. But
Okay, okay. So,
go ahead,
so
finish
he
the
will keep you in the
hypothetical.
dark for a few days or weeks or months, I don't know, and then he can tell you eventually. But you guys will be pissed about it for a long time. But he gets the money. He tells you, he's not allowed to tell you how he got the money. That's gonna be fucked into hypothetical though. Like how does he explain it without it being weird? I guess because he's your husband, so he needs to tell you everything. So he has to kind of lie for like a good goal. If he actually did that, would you not like that? If your partner lied for a lot of money and kept you in the dark and then eventually told you what's going on, but made you like not know what's going on for a few weeks. Like I'm thinking of a hypothetical essentially where you have to choose if you would be okay with your partner doing that to you or no, I don't know, like
With
oh, like
with
the most
our
anticipated
marriage
day, it's gonna get
proposal?
ruined. Your ultimate wedding day, will get destroyed
Uh-huh.
by a simple Jeff Bezos proposal of giving you money. Like it is more important.
But
money
why
it-
would
for
my
some people.
partner accept that though?
So your partner would be like, he's capable himself. He can earn money himself. You guys are stable, but this amount of money
Yeah.
is like, it's just insanely absurd not to take it in his eyes. Like, it's easy money for no effort. Why not take it? The disappointment you guys would feel obviously would
Well,
suck.
thank God. Well,
But-
thank God that I'm not getting married to him, right?
Yeah, there you go. It seems like you really value the marriage more than the Bezos money. You would actually rather keep
Yeah.
the marriage. You would prefer it if your
Yes.
husband said no to Bezos, which I find really
Yes.
fascinating. And I'm sure a lot of people in the
I mean,
server
why would
relate
he
to
say
you,
yes?
but
Why would
others
he
also
say
would.
yes?
Because hoping that you would not mind too much about it.
Um,
If-
yeah, let me just like not mind one of the like most anticipated goals of my
because
life.
the money's like
Oh, yeah.
blindingly also
I don't give a
impressive.
fuck.
There you go. You're telling me you
No.
don't care, and I'm telling you hypothetical where your partner is like in a dilemma where what the fuck does my partner like? Will she get mad? I don't know. And if she
If we're already stable and assuming that we're marriages, weddings are not cheap, we're pretty fucking stable to have a fucking nice ass wedding and stuff. Then no, we
you
don't
can buy
need that.
yachts
I mean,
and like buy countries and shit. I don't know. You can do a lot of things with that. You don't care about that, obviously.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
But
I'm
are
not
you sure? You're sure about
marrying
this?
somebody.
Because the marriage shit is just
Yes.
way more important to you.
Yes, then a shitload of money. Seriously? No.
Yeah. That's really fascinating. And someone just messaged me, so I'm gonna respond to it right now. Okay, I'm back. I'm just responding to someone. Damn, that was really interesting. You value marriage a lot, and it reminds me of another hypothetical. How much do you value your? I guess probably not as much, but you can answer. Your, you know how they say like the husband should be there in the hospital when when his child is born, because it's like cutting the umbilical cord or something like that. Do you know about that cultural thing? Apparently, that's something you need to be there for your family during the time your child is born. Are you aware about that?
I haven't, but I do agree with it.
You agree with that, okay? And how important is that? Like similar to you in terms of like the importance, like again, Jeff Bezos. If your husband was like, you have to not show up in your child's birthday or first day being born, or would you would you but you have to so that you can get money, would you prefer it if he was there, or would you not care as much in you
Yeah, he needs to be there.
why if
I
he didn't
went through
show up
9 months of
if it didn't
fucking pain and
if
agony.
it didn't show up on he was one day late or something, like he just comes in the day after instead of the actual moment of him being born, like it's not a big deal for your husband, let's say, like, okay, I'll just show up a day late because Jeff Bezos wants me to be a day late for money, like, is that fine for you? Is that not as big of a deal as the wedding shit?
Why would that be fine with me?
It's not.
No.
It's not fine. They needs to be there on the exact day, the exact time, or wait for. He needs to be
Yes.
waiting because it's a really important day for you.
If I went through 9 months of fucking hell, yes.
But he can just show up a day after. Why do you
That's not
care?
even a
Why do you
question.
care that he needs to be there on the exact day if it's a lot of money that you're sacrificing?
Anything could happen. Do you understand that there are mothers that die during
I see.
when giving birth?
Yeah, I want to
Like,
see your logic because it's like in Breaking
yeah.
Bad. There's in Breaking Bad, Walt. It is a TV show, Breaking Bad, where the main character is a drug dealer or a drug kingpin. He had a really important drug deal with someone, like a lot of money at stake. But because but he at the same time his daughter was being born on that day, so he needed to choose between showing up during the birth
That's
day
ridiculous.
and then selling the drugs. Can you guess which one he chose? He chose he chose the drug, so he just didn't show up
Of course.
and then he just got a lot of money from the drug deal.
That's really unfortunate.
So you
Sad to hear it.
okay. Okay. This is very interesting stuff so far. Let me just go back to. I learned a lot of things about you, for sure. I'm gonna move on to the next question, which is, you said bullying bullies is okay. Bullying bullies. This one is actually interesting. The next one, I think this is my favorite hypothetical that I've ever made. So you're actually like lucky to witness the greatest hypothetical that I've ever made, in my opinion. I'm hyping it up so much because I was so excited when I first wrote it down. It's called the hug box hypothetical. So let me just tag you in general chat, and I will read it for you, obviously, but I will also tag you. Okay, so I'm gonna read it right now. The Hugbox server is a Discord server with 50 girls. The girls have faces and bodies that have flaws that they could get roasted for because society. All of the girls are innocent, kind, wholesome, sensitive. They're also sustainably productive, healthy, and honest members of society. All of the girls are set for life and do not give a crap about money. The girls posted their selfies in the server. You legally get free, how much is this? $100,000 from someone who will 100% not sell you out, but you gotta join the server and reply, "You look cringe and ugly," followed by extremely detailed explanations on why each of the 50 girls is cringe and ugly. You can anonymously use an alt, VPN, Tor, whatever you want, so no one knows what you're doing. Would you call the girls cringe and ugly for the money? This is $100,000 at stake.
No.
You wouldn't.
No.
And tell me why.
Because why would
Because they're
I?
innocent, right? They're chill. They
So
don't,
let
des-
me
they don't
let me
deserve. They
tell
don't
you.
deserve that kind of
So
treatment.
if I were to actually do it, right, and knowing me, because sometimes I be flipping like a switch. If I were to actually give in and want that money, this is what I would do. Yes, I would go ahead and do all of that, right? But on top of that, right after, and it won't be anonymous, by the way, I will make sure that they know it's me. and I would do what it told me, you know, the reply and then the extremely detailed explanations and of the 50 girls and stuff, right? Once I get my $100,000, and I know you already said they don't give a crap about money,
Yes.
but I will be splitting it amongst all of us. And I will
Okay.
also be giving
Yeah.
each of them a
I see where
detailed
I see the
apology.
direction you're taking for. And if that wasn't an option,
A
you just
detailed
if
apology.
what you're saying wasn't an option, then you just wouldn't be interested in
Yes.
in the deal.
But I mean,
You
who
actually
would
found a
know
loophole
that
there. I've
I
asked this question to tens of people in the server, and they've not brought up that loophole, which is you could just tell them, I roasted you, and I will apologize and split the money with you guys. Even if you don't care about the money, I'll just apologize and tell you to your face, kind of thing.
yeah.
People have not brought up that loophole yet. Like, I've tuned this hypothetical to prevent a lot of loopholes, but it seems like you still found one. Which is really cool. I like that. But
Well, because who would know? Who would know that it's
the
like
the part about the part that it says important, all of the girls are set for life and do not give a crap about money, that wasn't originally there. I added that before because of someone bringing up a loophole, like they can just like share the money with you, and I was thinking, okay, then I guess I'll add that they don't care about money. And now the person who's answered initially brought up the loophole. He said, well, I guess never mind then. I actually, he realized that it doesn't matter. Even if the girls actually do not give a crap about money, he would still bully them or send them to mean things for money. It was irrelevant for him. He realized it doesn't matter if they care or if they don't care about money after I revised the hypothetical for them. So there you go. That's another interesting thing about you. You actually care about how those girls feel. A lot of people in the server don't. This is an ENTP server, right? And there's a stereotype. A lot of people that would vibe with ENTPs or ENTPs themselves are like not very. A lot of them would not care. They would just like fuck those 50 girls, or they wouldn't be like, I want to hurt these girls. It's more like, I don't care about how they're feeling because the money is so good. I would just use Doomus. Their priority is about the money, and they don't think it's a big deal. I think a lot of people in the server would not like it as much if it meant, instead of hurting them emotionally, if it's about physically murdering them. And a lot of people in the server probably wouldn't like that, but there is a line where they don't really mind if it's emotional. Yeah.
isn't it just about the same though? A lot of a lot of women, and I've noticed that you said all of the girls are innocent, kind, wholesome, and sensitive.
Mm-hmm. You're
So
hurting them emotionally. You're
wouldn't
being
it?
a dick. You're being a dick,
Yes.
100%.
So
They don't care
even
though.
though you put
The
in
people on
there,
the
you
server
know,
and so on.
you're not killing them. You're
Yeah.
not saying,
They think it's
oh,
a big. That's a big difference
um,
for people in the server. Some of them, and you don't think it is a big difference.
no, it's not, because that could kill a girl. That
Yeah.
could kill. That has killed many people in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah, and a lot of people in the server, and I wonder what you would feel about this argument, would say, well, Darwin was correct about stuff like natural selection. It's good that they kill themselves because they're too sensitive to actually exist. So would that affect? Would you think that's a really dumb take? Because people actually have told me that, like, these people are, if they're sensitive enough to kill themselves, then they're evolution-wise they shouldn't be thriving as a gene, because people shouldn't be that sensitive in society. If they are, them killing themselves isn't too big of a negative in society because their genes suck balls.
But is that really the case, that they're too sensitive, or is it that you're too inconsiderate?
Well, that's an
Mm.
argument that can be made between members of the server. I'm sure a lot of the members in the server would say it's not about them being a dick. It's about these people being too sensitive. They wouldn't focus on their own behavior too much about it because they don't think it's a big deal.
And that's the problem. There's no reflection. There's no self-reflection.
Yeah, and in their eyes, you would just be. I think in your eyes, they don't care enough about something they should care about. In their eyes, you'd care too much about something you shouldn't care about. Is kind of
Mm.
like the dichotomy going on here, and it's an interesting thing. That always happens
I see.
in many situations. I always find myself in situations like that where I would be I would be like in the middle of two people disagreeing about something, and ultimately it boils down to side A, or the one side says you care too much, the other side says no, you're just not a nice, you just don't care enough about something you should care about.
Mm.
So that's kind of like the ultimate thing going on here. You think they care enough,
Yeah.
and they think you care too much.
Well, I think it might be a little bit of both, to be honest with you. It may be because they do not self-reflect and realize that what they're saying can and will affect people, because no matter what, and a lot of people, there's a reason why the saying words hurt, it still exists because it's true. And you can think to
Yeah.
yourself, oh yeah, a person can call me ugly, nonstop for an hour, and I
Yeah.
won't think I'm ugly. I'll still think I'm perfect.
Uh-huh.
But in actuality, it does affect your mental, and inevitably, it will affect the way that you perceive yourself, whether you like it or not. So that's the thing, is that it's kind of like saying that influences don't influence. Like, that doesn't make fucking sense. Of course it's going to influence you, you know? It's like saying your environment doesn't influence the way that you act, the way that you talk, the way that you, like, live your life. Of course it does. Everything affects everything, you know? So I definitely don't agree with the fact that they are too sensitive. The girls would be too sensitive. But I also don't that it's 100% their fault for being too sensitive. But I also don't agree that it's 100% the person's fault for not being very mindful. I
Okay.
think it's a little bit of both.
Interesting shit. Yeah, I like this. This is really insightful in terms of. I'm not really like. I'm obviously not like. Yay! I'm gonna adopt your morality now. I have my own developed morality about things, or lack of morality, or like nuanced morality. But I'm mostly learning about your preferences. So based on this model that I have in my head right now, it seems to me that you are uh, currently, in my opinion, you're an ENTJ when it comes to morals. So I've finished typing you, because Mr. Thick is Mrthick, 6 letters. So first letter, the model M. According to the model M, you are an ENTJ in how you approach your morals. Context: a lot of the server members are ENTP with morals, and what that means is they, in my model, what that means is they're more likely to not agree with you is about stuff like the hypothetical just now. A lot of people in the server, I think more than 50%, said they would like send the mean things to those 50 sweet girls, because that's quote unquote an ENTP, possibly an ENTP thing to do. Like, it's more likely to show up among ENTPs, and an ENTJ, not as much. So I've fully typed you now for morals. Unfortunately, and I'm sure you knew this, the model is really big. There's a lot of other aspects, romance, etc., which we will explore in the future. I would love to VC with you about this again, another time. I'm still gonna be in the VC right now. I'm just saying I'm finished with M, and now I'm wondering what your thoughts
Mhm.
are on me typing you this way, and just anything you want to tell me right now, because this is really cool.
I mean, I don't remember. Oh yeah, well, it was the test that I did, the 16
Yeah,
personalities
which
test,
is
that they told me I was an ENTJ
yeah.
as well.
You understand, in my model, it gives you multiple types depending on dimension of your life, right? Like your personality, like morals. It's not
Hmm.
just one type.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's so you're an ENTJ when it comes to morals. I think it definitely makes sense. You have this TE thing in your morals where you focus a lot on product. What does it lead to? What does it Is it positively gonna be long run beneficial? And is it professional? Is it Those are a lot of ENTJ like quote unquote traits to have in morals, because an ENTJ would be focused more on words like professionalism, TE, with TE, like actually doing things the by the book, actually subscribing to mechanisms provided by society. so that we can safely
Mhm.
deal with problems, go to court, sue someone instead of killing people and torturing your professor.
Yes.
um,
Yes,
you
exactly.
you care about those things, and a lot of ENTPs also care about those, but not to the extent that you do, because what they would do instead is more, they would make exceptions very clear. Like in some ENTPs, they'd be like, no, I don't care about the system being a thing because I care more about how I feel, and how other people can feel about it doesn't care. It doesn't matter to them that much. It's about you share an intuition that a lot of people in society share, like collective thinking, where you want what benefits the most, what benefits everyone the most as much as possible. A lot of ENTPs could also be like that, but not. I would say it's almost like a trademark thing. They're more like lone wolves with their morality. Like they would subscribe more to helping themselves and their own people more, rather than the entire ecosystem. Like the ecosystem is not their main concern. It's more of like their own community. They would kill themselves. They would kill things. They would go through a lot of struggle for their own people, though. A lot of the ENTPs I noticed, but for caring about everyone as equally as possible, it's not really their thing. They don't care about enough about being humanitarian, I guess. That's really not their thing. And ENTJ, I would actually kind of associate with that more. But there seems to be an interesting thing going on with you, where I stereotypically think of ENTJs as, with their goals, they're very anal. And when I say anal, they're very like strong-willed to themselves. Like, I will do this. This is my goal. And you kind of give me those vibes with like the marriage thing, for example. But you don't have that. And I'm sure you're a very resilient person. There's just an ENTJ thing as well, stereotypically. ENTJs are more resilient, and because they're intuitives and they really brainstorm, they use their brain to actually think of deep solutions that they can use to achieve their goals. They're more, so because of your ENTJness, you're focused on productivity, deeply exploring solutions to achieve your goals. And then you have that FI within you, which is introverted feeling, a function in ENTJs, where you have strong convictions and heartfelt values and how humans should do things and how you should care about this, I should care about this. As much as possible, it would be better if people cared about everyone, because that's just better. ENTPs don't care as much. ENTP is like, okay, sure, but like, I don't know, I just care more about my own life, fulfilling my desires and helping my friends. They're just more selfish in that regard. So, there you go. You're an ENTJ in morals. Holy crap, that was fun. Oh, by the way, you're not a feeler, by the way. It says you're not a feeler. And a feeler, the reason you're not a feeler, you're not an ENFJ, etc., is because a feeler would be more... the way you were explaining your answers is very, like, thinker, where you're just like, I'll tell you what I think about it, man. I think this is dumb. I think this is immature. Whatever word you wanted to use. You didn't even use the word dumb. You just kept using the words immature, unprofessional, which is actually, like, noteworthy. It means you're not really willing to call... You're just very careful with your words, it seems, about it, which is also very thinker. So...
I try to be.
So, yeah. So... You definitely have that thinker approach. Like, you just want to think about everything as clearly as possible, and you don't want to say the wrong idea, and you would not like it if you said something that was too vague or too unclear, or if it was too, like, you just want me to understand what you feel about it as efficiently as possible. You don't want the wrong idea. And I'm sure if I misunderstood you because of me being dumb, you would not like it. Because a lot of ENTJs, even I myself as an ENTP, I value, like, effective communication, and you're very good at communicating how you feel about these things. And I think I'm pretty good at asking questions as well and understanding. So there's just this communication thing we have, style, where you can bluntly tell me how you feel about it, and then we just move on to the next question, which is very thinker. A feeler would be like, you remember the question I asked you about killing the niece, or the similar hypotheticals? I asked an INFJ about those questions. In the island hypothetical, where I was joking around about, like, hitting the baby with a coconut from a coconut tree, striking its face as hardly as possible so you can kill it as fast as possible. She was like, "What the fuck, man?" She was like, actually, like, the descriptions are too disturbing for her. She's not really a snowflake. She's not gonna get mad at me for that. But, like, she gets disturbed by imagery more than like other people would be. So it's a very feeler thing, stereotypically speaking. Feelers are gonna be more disturbed by that thing. And this girl this INFJ girl happened to be like a vegan as well, or a vegetarian. Where I think she's a vegetarian because instead of vegan, because if she went full vegan, her lifestyle would be too unhealthy or something. I forgot. But so these people actually have extremely strong morals to the point where, well, I don't know. They just have that flavor of sensitivity where if you ask them a hypothetical, they may actually feel a lot of emotions answering the hypothetical. You can just give me your answer, you wouldn't feel that emotional about it. You would just have a solid conviction telling me confidently how you feel about it, and that's it. You might sound very like blunt, and people might be like, "Wow, she's so confident," but you're not really like feel or emotional about it. You're just really confident about it. So this is all some cool stuff though. Like, thinking right now, I'm just looking at my screen, and apparently the Genji versus BLG game is now game 5. Let me see. Yeah, I think they're reaching the 5th game. So they've reached the final game.
It's 2-2.
Yes, and they haven't started the 5th game. Dude, it's
Oh,
It's a
okay.
commercial break right now. Dude, this is intense. And by the way, BLG was leading 2-0. And you know what happened? Genji managed to win game 3 and game 4. So now they're in 2-2. It's the anyway.
Oh.
This is gonna give me a heart attack, dude. But I actually don't know who I sided with more. I like both teams, but I guess I'm biased for Genji more because Koreans are just too good. But back to our topic. A feeler would be more like disturbed by the things. The girl that I talked about, INFJ, she was like, "Man, why are you making me answer this?" She was saying that as a joke more so, but like she was genuinely like
Yeah.
disturbed by the imagery, like having to kill her niece, and the fact she said she would just kill herself after killing the niece. Life just doesn't feel worth it at that point. She would be too guilty about it.
That's absolutely wild. For me, that's not logical to me. Like, that doesn't make sense, because if there's 10 people in the room, mine, like the kid is the 11th, right? And you're the 10th person in the room. Okay, so technically there's 11, including the kid. The kid dies.
Yeah.
The kid is dying so that there's 10 people that get to live. Then that means that you literally just it's so stupid to me, because you went from, okay, he died so that these 10 people in the room can live. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna fucking kill myself too. So that there's 9 people. Are you kidding me that he just literally sacrificed, well, technically you sacrificed him, but he died so that instead of 10 people living, then only 9 people can live? Like, that's so illogical to me. Just fucking live. He would want you to live. That's the whole reason why he died, is so that you can live. And I understand that the guilt is going to eat you alive. This is going back to like the baby one, the one that you told me about. The guilt would like eat me alive, right? But even if I had no choice but to kill that baby, if I had a gun pointed to my head, they were like, kill that child right there or you die. I'm sorry, but that child's gonna have to fucking die. Okay? It's just gonna have to happen, right? And and especially in the sense of like the kid is already like struggling to live, then I would want to try to make it rest easy. So yes, the guilt is gonna eat you alive. Yes, I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy. I know it's not, but for me, you gotta power through it. Like, that's my like number one thing. Like life it's not just easy as like step 1, step 2, step 3. Like, there's going to be obstacles thrown in there. It's gonna be challenging. There's gonna be tests, trials ran on you all the time. It's never gonna go the way that you want or you expect it to go. That's why you don't have high expectations. That's why you don't have low expectations. You just survive. That's what you do. And so, like, for for her to say, "Oh, I'm just gonna fucking kill myself," you are in a way, in my eyes, you are dishonoring him. You are dishonoring your nephew or your niece that had died so that those 10 other people in the room can live. You are dishonoring that person or that life that once
I
was.
feel like she could think of it that way, but at the same time, the pain is too much for her. That's why she would kill herself. She just thinks the pain is too much. Like she's basically like severed her limbs and like she's bleeding constantly, and there's nothing she can do about it. She's emotionally bleeding, and she doesn't know how to stop it. It's like an unfortunate. She would see it as an unfortunate like.
People die all the time though. That's my thing, is that people die all the time. Yes, that's a brutal way to die, and that's brutal because you're gonna have to see and hear it happen like right in front of you. But people die all the time. There's gonna, I mean, like if she's freaking out over her nephew dying, like imagine how it's gonna be when one of her parents die, or
I
if
think she's
one of
definitely gonna be
her
bothered. Yeah. There's no doubt
if
about
her
it.
partner
I-
dies.
She's definitely
Yeah.
emotional kind that would actually be like extremely easily bothered by people leaving for like valid reasons and just life being life, you know. She's definitely that extreme feeler kind that would actually feel really emotionally attached to people to that unhealthy degree. That's just how she is. So there's that extreme feeler tendency that she has. You are more thinker about it. Stereotypically, you're detached. You think of it as, I will do my best to reduce my neuroticism, have the proper frame mindset, so that I can get out of the situation unscathed as smoothly as possible. You saw the thing. I told them you were showing me your ECOC. Anyway. I'm trying to remember. Oh, there you go. There's your morality. Oh wait, there's more questions. Wait, let me see. I asked you about morals. I've already typed ENTJ, but there was some more questions. It is no longer for your typing. It's more like curiosity.
What if like all of them, for the Mrthick, what if all of them are just ENTJ?
It's possible. I've typed no, I'm not even kidding. That's possible. I've typed someone. It's rare though. It's really rare based on my experiences. I've typed Octi, other people in the server. All of them have like an exception where a model where it's not ENTJ. So or not ENTJ, where it's not what the rest of the models say. But there was a time I typed this girl. She is an INFJ, and she got INFJ in everything, and it was so remarkable for me because
That's crazy.
yeah, it's really cool. I like it, and it's like an outlier case for me because I think the norm is for people to have exceptions or like types that are not what the rest of the models suggest. So in your case, is it possible? I think it's definitely possible that you're an ENTJ everywhere. But let me think right now. I'm gonna go through M's. M is morals. R is romance. Are you a ENTJ when it comes to romance?
I'm excited for the romance.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of C, which is not C. T, which is text. How you speak in text, and then H is
Oh my god, I heard that I am like the worst texter in the world.
A lot of people
like
are
people
very different
fucking
in text
hate
and
texting me.
calls. A lot of people seem like an introvert in text or an extrovert, and then the other type. On
Yes,
Yeah.
literally, I fucking hate texting so much. I'd rather just call someone. Like this is why I hate. Okay, I'm gonna be completely real with you. I don't like meeting people like online over text. It's just like so fucking annoying. That's why you'll see me hopping around in voice calls all over. Like right now, I have 4 servers that have active VCs, and once this one ends, I'm hopping in another one. Like that, I hate texting. You'll never catch me like texting in chats. Like I just no, I just don't like it.
The INFJ that I typed was also like that. She said she hates typing, but her reason is she in text chat it's so hard to derive accurate meaning out of someone.
Yes. Oh
Like,
my god, and tone,
she
it's
even
so
calls
hard.
herself like she said she was. I don't know. A lot of people say she's lying about this, but she said she is diagnosed with autism, and therefore this makes her. It's the kind of autism that makes her unable to read meaning in text accurately enough, consistently. So that's why she has a preference for just voice chat as much as possible, and she really just text chat. She hates it. She dislikes it because it's annoying having to deal with like ambiguous messages, and you don't know what people's intentions are. It's just really weird as compared to like talking normally like a normal person in VC. Do you like hanging out with people IRL? You probably do, obviously. You're an extrovert. Like you with your friends, for example.
Yeah.
So just talking
Yeah,
to
I don't even like that's my thing. Hi, welcome.
hi
I
Jay.
mean, that's my thing is like in real life, I'm the type of person where we don't. Okay, this is how I actually explained one of my new friends. I don't have to constantly be engaging in something. Like I just like to be there, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like if you let's say you want to go to the museum and I don't want to go to the museum, right? Cuz I don't really not that I don't want to go, but just because I don't really care for it, I'm still going to go with you. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like I'm there for just like the time spent well. It's not because I have to. I'm not like an iPad kid where I have to, like constantly be pressing buttons and engaging in all sorts of stuff in order for me to care about something. As long as I am breaking routine, I'm completely fine. I hate routine. I fucking hate routine so much. It
Which
screws up my entire fucking like schedule, my mentality, my cycle because I don't have a cycle. That's my thing is that so when I start gaining a routine, it kills me because of the fact that I feel like I'm a mouse on a wheel and I can't get off. That's why I try to break my routine every few days and I try to put in some little random spontaneous surprise parties for me, or like surprise events for me. Because if I keep running like I usually do, I'm gonna get tired. I'm gonna get burnt out. I'm probably gonna fall into depression. Like, no, thank you. I'd rather just have random days where I do random things. So yeah,
wait, you actually like the scatteredness or the randomness
yes,
of like hanging out with people?
I love spontaneous plans so
Spontaneous.
much. Like, if
Really?
somebody hit me up right now, it's 5 in the morning. If somebody messaged or called me and was like, Sarah, like let's I don't fucking know what can you do at 5 in the morning. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to the gym. I'm like, okay, let's go. All right, give me like 30 minutes and I'll be ready.
That's
I
pretty cool.
literally I love that. I love spontaneous plans. It's so much fun.
Stereotypes say that like the stereotypes in MBTI say that's not a very J thing, because J's are more structured and rigid with their schedules, and P's are more like chill. So you're being stereotypically a perceiver, a P. This actually makes it like very possible you're not an INTJ at all in most of the models, because an INTJ is very like the opposite of you. They're more strict and rigid with themselves about their schedules.
INTJ or ENTJ?
I'm talking about INTJ, so I'm just talking about like you
Oh, okay.
not being an, because an ENTJ could slightly be more flexible than an INTJ with socializing, because ENTJ they want to socialize as more than an INTJ would, so they maybe have some more leeway with socializing, but the INTJ has that SE that like appreciate SE, which is extroverted sensing, so. Wait, I'm getting distracted. Someone's talking about my butthole in general chat. Hold on. Let me just
I just saw that.
So an ENTJ has SE interstacking, extroverted sensing, which means they actually like stimulation more than an ENTJ does. So or an INTJ does. Extroverted. So an ENTJ is looking for stimulation more than an INTJ. An ENTJ connects to the environment more and tries to derive a lot of fun from the environment. And their idea of fun can be something as conventional as going to a theme park or something, or like even sex or something. And in movies and stuff, food, to like more abstract things that an ENTP would likely be more associated with, like NE. Because an ENTP is more about, they're really more about stimulation from the intellectual stimulation, like the brain, the mental stimulation, ideas and stuff turn them on more than like an ENTJ, who could also still be turned by ideas, but you also would be into the conventional stuff like just going to a park with your friend, feeding pigeons and or something. So I guess that's really interesting that you're saying you're an ENTJ, or no, that like you seem to have that thing about rigidity. You're not that rigid with schedules. You actually embrace the spontaneity of people, of your friends. And you like that shit a lot. You enjoy it so much.
Yeah. Fuck, Jay. You gotta pick one. You can't pick both.
I'll pick both as well. Booby Thicka. Anyway.
Why can't I pick both?
That's not how it works. It's a theory. You gotta pick one or the other.
By the way, Jay, I don't think you're gonna planning on saying any slurs, but like I'm recording a video for her typing, so I'm typing her for a YouTube video. I think I told you actually, or I told you I'm typing. I didn't tell you you're recording in text chat. I'm recording. I love a man with a big picky. What the fuck? Okay.
Give me one moment. I gotta do something. Oh no, I have to log in. Hold on, what the fuck is my email?
I'm gonna end the recording now. What are your final words, by the way, Seraa?
Live, love, laugh. Wait.
Bye.
No.
Say it. Come on. Anything. Say anything.
Anything.
Anything. That's your final word. Okay. Anything. Bye.
Yeah.